Okay, I think that's working. Right. Okay. 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 I think we're there now. Maybe, I don't know. Hello, 24911 here. So, as I start every single live stream, although this one appears to be starting a bit sooner than I expected, please let me know if you guys can hear me okay. If you can, then fantastic, and we'll get a shifty on. Um, yeah, because yeah, because I've got my streaming software, and I start the way it always used to work that I remember is I used to tell my streaming software, right, I want to go live, start streaming the data to the YouTube website, and then you had to go to the YouTube website and then say, right, I want to go live, because then that allows you to make sure that YouTube's receiving your data and then takes it live and starts actually there. But apparently when I went live on my streaming software, it told YouTube to go live as well. So I do apologize if that confused anyone who was there for the previous 5 minutes. Let's see, very quiet on the mic. I can sort that out for you. Let's see, bring that up to there, bring that up a little bit as well. How is that now? I've added a few decibels to the microphone. It could also be that my mic's actually way out of the way here. Hold up. Hello, we've got quite a lot of people, looks like, in the chat already. Welcome, guys. It has been a while, hasn't it? How you all doing? Right, so I pulled my microphone a bit closer as well, so that will hopefully help a little bit there. So let's see. So we have, well, before the stream, it looked like we had Matt Jolly in the chat there, Karush, Luciano, Steve, yep, Alan, Jacob, Russell, Stevie, Mohammed, David, Nehemiah, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Rip Van Allen, welcome, good to see you again. 5x5, thank you, Chandavir. Let's have a look. Wuthiet, I think that's how you pronounce the name. It's always been like that for you. Do you mean like go live? I mean, I'm out of practice, in all fairness, and I'm using Streamlabs OBS and not regular OBS. So I think need a bit more time with it. But anyway, so let's see. Matt at work on a night shift at Echo Hotel Uniform Whiskey. Ah, fantastic. Which airport is that? I don't recognise the ICAO there. Let's see. Ruth just stopped your FS6 Steam Edition stream. Ah, nice, very nice. Well, thank you very much for coming along to this one. Mayank, welcome. David, I missed you too. Oh, I miss you guys too. I've been a bit lost mentally the past couple of months. That's why I haven't had anything really happening on YouTube. I've been trying to do different things. Like, have you ever had it where you have an idea, or you want to learn something, or you want to try this or do that, and you end up with like so many different ideas and bits and pieces and things you want to do that you end up doing none of them at all? That's kind of where I've been the past 2 months. So yeah, that's where I've been, really. Let's see. What a sim. Ah, okay. Oh, what a sham. What a sham. No, sorry, I'm just taking a mic. What's some? Ah, nice. Very nice. Stevie Scuba, most calming instructor voice on the net. Really? Is it really? So calming that I will put you to sleep. Probably why I'm doing the stream so late tonight anyway. Anyway, so yeah, so as for this live stream, so we're going to be flying the gorgeous A2A Cessna 182, sorry. And yeah, we're just going to go flying around my back garden, essentially, in the Highlands, because like many other, real world pilots, yeah, we've all been cooped up, and yeah, and I'm still a student. I'm still a PPL student. I haven't got my license yet, but I'm missing, I'm missing going flying as well. So, yeah, we're just going to do it a little bit of virtual. It's going to be nice and relaxed, laid back. I've not got a flight plan. I'm not really going to be trying to accomplish anything during this live stream. It's just a nice, relaxed live stream with my apparently calming voice, and we're just going to chill out, have a good time, and just have a good old catch up in the chat there. So, Stevie, you need to put each idea in a box and work on each one as they come into your mind. That's good. I'm going to write that down. Do you know what? I'm actually going to get a little box as well and put all of my ideas into a literal box. Ideas into box. The problem is as well is that I've had some really, really outlandish ideas as well. Like, to give you an example, one of the ideas I had was to try and write a computer program that would effectively be an autopilot for flying rockets in Kerbal Space Program. So you can see the challenges that I face in my grey matter stack up here. Anyway, let's see. I'm going to call you Woo. Woo, I thought it was like 12 a.m. for you, but you're British. I'm not British, I'm Scottish. Same difference. Used to have a huge time difference with Americans playing flight sims, but we're basically neighbours. Nice. Scarlett, welcome. Paul Martin, welcome. Good to see you again. Colin, welcome. And Gamma, how's it going, buddy? Right, yeah. Let's go and fly, shall we? So, do you guys want to see me do the whole sort of pre-flight thing that you can do with the A2A aircraft, or shall I just have a go at getting it started up? Bearing in mind, I am a real PPL student, but I actually don't fly the Cessna types. I am a Piper Tomahawk and Piper Warrior student. Sticking a bit of fuel as well. Sticking a bit more fuel, why not? 100 litres each side. And oh, I used to be 82 kilos. Coronavirus lockdown has not been kind. Right, I'll go up to 90 kilos for me. Let's see. Woo, suck at flying rockets at KSP. Me too. That's why I want to try and get a computer program to do it for me. However, I also suck at writing computer programs. Karush KSP stream would be very cool. Maybe. As KSP is one of those games that I've got and I've not really put too much time into it. Let's see. Stevie and one of the jocks. Woo, same for me at least. You're Dutch. Okay. Yeah, I can imagine you probably get mixed up with Germans and the Netherlands and all that as well. Denmark. Netherlands is Dutch. Oh, never mind. Moving on. Mayak, what do I do for a living? Am I a pilot? No, I'm not a pilot. Maybe one day I will be a pilot for a living, but at the moment I am an operations assistant for the flying school based here at Inverness Airport. So I basically do a lot of the administration work. I do a lot of the scheduling of the flying school aircraft, schedule them for students, schedule them for PPL holders, or for aircraft hire, schedule them for maintenance and all sorts of things. And yeah, basically just do a lot of admin stuff for the flying school. So that's what I do for a living. Although I haven't been able to do it for the past 2 months, obviously. There's a coronavirus going around. That's the thing as well, is like you don't want to say it on YouTube, because I think YouTube started demonetizing people for saying coronavirus. So I need to be careful with talking about coronavirus. Let's not start with a bit. Let's not. Let's move on. Davey, when will I make a tutorial with the 777? I am working on them right now. I have the first. Oh, hello. Wait, hang on. That didn't show up, I don't think, on the stream. But thank you very much, Gamma, for the $5 donation, and hopefully the accompanying little jingle that was there as well. Why didn't that show up on the thing? That should have showed up on the. Oh, it did show up on the thing. Excellent. Okay, good. Right. I completely forgot I put that onto the donation sound as well. Hopefully you guys heard that. Anyway, right. Yeah, 777 tutorials. I am working on them. I've got the first few videos scripted. I'm working on writing scripts for all of the videos first, then I have to do narrations for all of them, then I have to do the recording, then the editing, and then I have to do artwork and overlays, and then I have to put them all together, upload them, and all the rest of it. So there's a lot to do, but I've got quite a few of the videos scripted already. SK P3D version. This is P3D version 4 that we're going to be flying in. Carl, I'm not going to get into politics. Yeah, okay, yeah, I see what you mean. KSP is a blast. Happy to pass on some of your skills. Maybe we'll see. Gosh, I'm not able to keep up with the chat here. Let's have a look. There aren't any in-depth 777 tutorials right now. Okay. I will have to do them. Right, okay. Right, let's do the walk around if I can remember which shortcut is it. Is it number 8? Yeah, it's number 8. Okay. Right, let's jump into the virtual cockpit. So, pitot tube, actually, have a look at on the outside first. So, oops, go around this side. So, pitot tube, that's out. Hopefully that's not too, yeah. So pitot tube there, pilot's operating handbook is basically there on the screen. Weight and balance check. Yeah, it's a Cessna 182, so very powerful aircraft. So we've got no issues because I've just loaded in one pilot essentially, so nothing to worry about there. Let's see. Right, now I can jump inside. So ignition switch is off, avionics master switch is off, battery master switch comes on, pitot heat on, static pressure or alternate static pressure is pulled or is in the off position, so it's pushed in. Annunciator panel test, where's the test pan? There it is. Excellent, everything's lighting up. Fuel selector is on both. Flaps extend. Where's my flaps button? There it is. Has the YouTube chat died? Not seeing the... Has the YouTube chat died, or is not just no one writing anything at the moment? Also, Kostas, welcome. How's it going? Or Yasas, Tikanis. Okay, I'm not seeing any new chat messages come up, and I just don't know if people aren't messaging or if the streams died or what's going on. Strange. Okay, I do apologise if... yeah, I'm not seeing any chat messages come through, so I don't know if that's a problem on... oh, there we go. Test. Matt Jolly. Oh, that's strange. Okay, maybe people just weren't writing anything. Okay, never mind. Right. I'm burning the battery in the aircraft here. So the flaps are extended. Pitot heat can come off. Avionics master is off. Battery master is off. Trim... set for takeoff. Do I have trim on? No, I've got some my joystick over here. Set for takeoff there. Really? Mr. No Name is calling my work mobile. Sorry, office is closed. I'm furloughed. Not doing any work. Sorry. Let's see. Right, we should jump onto the next stage. So press and hold that. So the pitot, that's meant to mimic the pitot tube being nice and hot, which is what we want. Especially in Scotland where it rains a lot, you don't want rain getting into the pitot tube, icing up, which then you won't be able to tell your airspeed. We lock the baggage compartment. So not in real life, what you'd be going and doing next is you'd just be running your hand down the side of the fuselage, making sure none of the rivets have popped, making sure that the skin of the aircraft is kind of all riveted down in place, and there's like the skin's not buckling or boring, or there's no massive dents. Coming around to the tail, so you're just checking the general movement of the tail, so I can kind of mimic that with my joystick here. Let's see, trim tab, check security and the conditions, so I can do most of that there. So check the hinges, check all the joints there. Oops, if we come around to trim tab on the right there, make sure that's nice and secure. You could also check the rudder here, so you'll be looking inside the rudder, making sure all the hinges are all good. Moving across to the sort of the around the tail, again checking the fuselage, making sure all the rivets are in and secure. Give the flap a wiggle, make sure it's not moving, and then you'll be checking in here, checking all the hinges, checking the control rod. The reason I know all of this is because I just recorded a tutorial video for Highland Aviation, my company, not my company, but the company I work for, where I acted as the student for a pre-flight check. So I literally did all of this a couple of days ago with an actual instructor teaching me what to do. So checking the ailerons, checking the static wicks, make sure they're secure. Again, give it a movement, make sure all the hinges and everything is secure. But also, you'd be checking to make sure that the control columns move. If you look at the bottom right corner there, so you're making sure the control columns move the way you expect them to when you move the actual control surfaces themselves. And then again, checking all the hinges, make sure they're all secure and in good condition. Around the corner here, you'd make sure that the tie down there is secure, and that the drain port that's hiding just behind it is empty. And again, just checking the general leading condition of the leading edge. Check the condition of the tyre here. It's not easy to do with fairings on, but you just check the tyre and make sure everything's in place and secure there. You'd also try draining a bit of fuel, make sure there's no sediment or dirt in there. You would dip the fuel, so you'd make sure that you have plenty of fuel in the aircraft there. So we've got 20, is that litres or gallons? And that measures in, don't know, but we got about half a tank full. So check the static port there, make sure that's nice and clear. And then we would strain some fuel from underneath the engine as well. Again, just making sure it's clear. Check the nose wheel as well, make sure the things like the dust cap are in place. There's a split pin here and there that you want to check as well. Also check the oleo extension, the piston essentially. Make sure it's at the right height and that it's not like collapsed or it's like jammed open. Check the torque link behind, make sure that's all secure and not like wiggling. Around the front, check the spinner, so you'll be checking into the air intakes, checking each propeller, making sure there's no massive dents or chips in the propeller. Check the spinner, make sure all of the screws holding the kind of the chrome pointy bit on the spinner in place. Check the oil filter down here as well, make sure that's kind of nice and clear and free from debris. Again, just clearing out all of that. Check the oil, we've got about 8 quarts there. And then check the pitot static on this side as well, or static port. Check the fuel in that tank, again, same as the other side. Drain fuel out of this tank, make sure it's all good condition. Check the tyre here, we can't really do it. Check the stall flap there, check the drain port. Again, just checking the general condition. Check the landing lights as well, landing and taxi lights, make sure they're all okay. Check the nav lights, check the hinges, check the movement, and then zoom out there, and then again check the flap, check the hinges. It's all good, and then we're back in the cabin. Right, let's have a look here. Let's catch up on things. Let's see. David, every day I check to see if you posted a new video stream. Keep it up. I will do. I'm planning on being a bit more active. As I said, I've had a couple of months now where I've just kind of been a bit like, what do I do? But now I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things. Whoops, I did not mean to take my parking brake off. Yeah, now I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things with YouTube. So hopefully I'm going to try and get, because I've got a ton of footage from doing my PPL studies, so I'm going to try and try and get some of my kind of real world PPL vlogs done. I'll try and aim to do one of those a week, and then hopefully as I'm doing those and as I'm releasing those, I'll make some progress with the 777 tutorials as well. Let's see, Flanker Sky, or Flanker Ski maybe. Would you like to fly a jet fighter? You're flying for years but never tried a jet fighter before. I want to see some aerobatic display. I might do it on a live stream in the future. One of the things I was wanting to try and learn, and something that I've kind of started with, is flying in DCS. So I'm trying to get the hang of flying things in DCS at the moment, but it's been a real kind of culture change for me, because in DCS you kind of feels like everything has to fly a lot quicker than what I'm used to flying GA. Oh, thank you, Nicholas, for subscribing. And even commercial stuff feels like everything just happens a lot slower than it does in DCS. So maybe in DCS I'll do some jet fighter stuff and the videos there. Let's see, Mayak, no it hasn't, focusing on the tutorial. Okay, so that'll be me thinking that everything stopped. Philip, where do I get the list from? It's built in with the aircraft, so if you do shift and then number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 8, you get these different panels, which are, is it shift or is it control? So shift and then number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 8. You have these different panels which are part of the add-on with the A2A. Let's see. Let's see. Netraxer, welcome. How's it going? Let's see. Just catching up. Andy, welcome. How's it going? Dusan, welcome. Riskgas, how's it going? A bit late. You got school tomorrow. I think you'll probably just get some stream while I watch the stream. No problem. As always, the live streams will be available as a video on demand afterwards, so you can come and watch it later if you wish. And Alexandru, welcome. Hey, Dave, I want to thank you for the 737. You bought the plane for FSX. Try and learn as much as you can. Oh, fantastic! Thank you. I'm glad you watched the videos. Thank you very much for watching the videos. I'm glad they helped. Right, let's light this candle, shall we? Right. So. We've done all of this, I believe. So engine starting. So throttle is going to be cracked. Hopefully not literally cracked. Mixture out. Prop control in. Master switch on. Turn the alternator on as well just now. We'll go beacon on. We'll go cowl flaps. Yeah, up is open. Good. And Brodard, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. So skip step 10 for warm engine. So warm engine is, we don't have a warm engine, so fuel pump on. So put a bit of fuel into the engine like that. Propeller area is clear. I should probably do the whole like clear prop thing as well. Ignition switch to start and then mixture advance. So don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Nah, it's always tricky trying to do this in the sim, but never mind, I'll just do that. Excellent. And we'll hold the revs at about 1,000 there. Might be a bit low for 182. I'm used to starting Tomahawks and Warrior where you go up to 1200. I'll put it there. got oil pressure. So we're checking here, we've got oil pressure, oil temperature. We've got positive amps, nav lights come on. Avionics can come on. And we'll turn on all of the radios. That's just the autopilot. Okay, the altimeter on to standby. Oops. Interesting, that's identing already. I think everything's okay over there. I'm not flying online or anything, so I'm not actually going to be doing any ATC stuff. So that should be all okay, and then flaps retract, so bring those back up. Gamma, don't forget to adjust the air vents for comfortable cabin. I shall. It says cabin is nice and steady. Perfect. Flaps are coming up. You can't see the indicator there, but they are. Right, before takeoff. So that'll be the engine run. So I just have the sim set to fair weather, so we'll probably head down to runway 05. So we'll go forward, turn right, and do an engine run down one end of the runway. Oops, going a bit quick. I've got some slippers on. It's not giving me good control of my feet. Never mind, that's okay. This is the way I wanted to go anyway. Hi, fire station. How you doing? I'm going way too quick here, aren't I? Probably bring that back in a second. I'm a real student. Turn this way before you crash into any commercial traffic based at the airport. Duke Minecrafter, welcome. How's it going? Andy, how many souls on board? Let's say we got, I think, 46. That's how many people are watching the stream right now. There we go. That's more like it. So actually, and something I can do actually is I can employ real-world taxi checks. So we're gonna turn slightly to the right, make sure the compass moves. The compass down here moves. We get some movement on the turn coordinator. So push it to the right. So that's increasing. That's increasing. Turn coordinator ball opposite. Turn to the left. That's decreasing. That's decreasing. Turn to the left, ball to the right, and attitude is stable. I'll go left brake. Plane pulls to the left. Right brake. Plane pulls to the right. Straighten up on the taxiway. Both brakes together. And the plane slows down. Let's have a look here. Andy, on the saw, sorry. No, not tonight. not tonight, for a change. No, I'm not. That makes me sound like an alcoholic if I say that. No, I'm not drunk. Actually, not drunk. Duke, I'm doing good. What about you? I'm doing good, thank you very much, Duke. Let's see. Nur, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Love you too, buddy. And Andy, as a ginger, do I count soul-wise? Unfortunately not, no, but your cat does make up for the numbers, so it all evens out. Okay. So we're going to bring it around to into the wind. Hit the brakes there. Parking brake on. So seat belts and doors locked, arms down. So just so you know, that's the door unlocked. That's the door locked. Flight controls full and free movement, so we can't really see the ailerons, but we would have checked them before the flight. But we'll go left, right. We'll check back, up, down. Flight instruments set in check, so that's about right for the QNH at Inverness. We're about 20 feet, 30 feet off the ground. Attitude. Roll that onto the horizon. Fuel quantity, we've got plenty of fuel. Is that... what is that? Gallons? It is in gallons, okay. So we've got about 26 gallons, I think, each side. Mixture rich. Car flaps open. Fuel selector valve. Losing my voice because I haven't spoken in 2 weeks properly. Go to 1800s. Okay, we'll cycle the mags. That one's a bit dirty, but I'll take a chance. Back to both. Cycle the prop. Thank you very much, David. £2. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. So that's the prop cycled. Engine. Vacuum is in green there. Ammeter is good. Ever so slightly charging. Nothing on the annunciator panel up here that you probably can't see because my ugly mug is in the way. Come back to idle. Idling at 700. That's fine. And come up to about 1,000. Radials and all sets. Elevator trim. Yep, set for takeoff. We're not going to use any flaps for takeoff. Let's see. Takeoff, wings, power. Okay, right. I'm ready for takeoff. For you? Let's see. Andy, demand a half price discount on your flight ticket. Then pretty sure you're covered by your travel insurance. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll give you a free face mask. That's the best we can do. And as a subsidiary of Ryanair, that's a big deal. Clement, welcome. How's it going? Long time no see. It has been a while, hasn't it? Right. Let's see. Fred, have I tried simming in VR yet? No, I haven't. I'm very late to the VR train. I've never ever tried VR, and I'm hoping that the technology is starting to mature because I'd love to try VR. Let's see, Clement. You had promised to do a tutorial the weekend after 777 then vanished. Did I? I said I was working on the 777 tutorials, but. Did I promise to do one? I apologise if I did. I'm worried now. I'm worried that I've broken the promise. Let's see. Andy, he's on the edge. I think you should have a GoFundMe page. I mean, if you're willing to throw money at me, I'll take it. I mean, you know, okay, fine, whatever. Let's see. Clement, Doofer, come up with a Discord. Funny you should say, I have ideas, and opening up my Discord is one of those ideas. Let's see. Andy, where's your hand baggage? I don't know, I didn't see it. Like, oh, are we cleared for takeoff? Okay. Let's see. Right, strobe lights on. Brakes off. Mayank, clear for takeoff runway 05. Thank you very much. We'll just ignore the comment about Andy's baggage. Let's see, David, you find airliners easy to fly in the sim. Any comments? I like both airliners and GA stuff. Obviously, through my initial tutorials on my channel, I spent a lot of time flying GA stuff in flight sim. So I mean, I guess airliners are easier because they're, you know, autopilot and stuff. But I think there is a place for GA in sim. Alright, let's get it rocking, shall we? looking at the far end of the runway. Helps you stay nice and straight. 60 knots, rotate. Okay. Interesting bit of roll to the left there on takeoff. Alright, let's get a nice, reasonable rate of climb, shall we? Gear up. Already at 500 feet, so we'll roll around to the north and we'll go flying off the Black Hour for a little bit. Well, so what I'm thinking is I'll track up the northeast coast of Scotland up towards Wick, and then I'll let you guys and girls figure out where we want to go after we reach Wick. So we'll go up to about 3,000 feet and then go from there. Of course, this is the Cessna 182, so very powerful aircraft. Definitely rocketing up into the air. And what I might actually do as well, just to make my life easier, is actually use the autopilot. Let's see. Chandelier, why is there no manifold pressure gauge? It's down here, buddy. So it's just down here to the left of the control column. This here manifold pressure. So now we're leveling off. So bring the power back. Top speed back, and we'll lean out a little bit as well. Listen carefully for the drop. Out there. That should be it. Okay, we're up and we're flying. Oh, I did forget to plug in the headset, didn't I? So I just saw someone's coming there. There we go, that's better. I always forget to do that in this aircraft. Let's see. David, VR is great, but the controls can be tricky. Truly amazing, though. I'm sure it is, because I was looking at VR headsets the other day, and I saw that I think who was it that came up with a new one that was meant to be really good? I think it was HP or someone came up with one that's meant to be the sort of the highest resolution and kind of looks brilliant for simming. So maybe. Let's see. Andy, there's a guy chasing the plane waving his arms. Yeah, I owe him money. Never mind. SK, forgot to plug in his headset. Yeah, sorry SK, I did catch a comment there, I've done it now. What is it with my voice breaking? Like, am I going through puberty again or something, for flip's sake? Is that Takeoff or Takeoff? Anyway, hi Joss, good morning from France. Thanks for flight, so many good memories. Hello from Scotland, buddy. How's it going? Or bonjour. Or bonsoir. One of those is great. Clement, you're looking for a good Cessna 172 add-on for FSX GA aircraft 172, 182. So A2A, the company that developed this aircraft, they also do a Cessna 172, which is really good, and it's also got these kind of features. So you would have seen the walk around that I did before, where you have the pictures and it shows you what you're meant to be looking for and looking at. Their version of the Cessna 172 also has all of that, and it's got these kind of built-in checklists and bits and pieces as well. So I would highly recommend the A2A GA aircraft. Are very good. Let's see, Matt. Graphics great on the aircraft, but the clouds look a little weird. I believe these are the default cloud textures for P3D version 4. I could be mistaken, but yeah, I think these were the default cloud textures that came with P3D. And the other thing as well. Oh, hello, David again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, David. Where was I? Yeah, I think the clouds in this as well, if you get too close to them, they do that thing where they kind of look like a 2D sprite, so as you go around them, they kind of just keep like facing you, and it looks very weird and unnatural and like something from a 1990s video game, but I like them from a distance. I think these look fine. Well, actually, no, it does look weird because in Scotland usually it's just all clouds, so this is very unnatural for Scotland in that you can actually see blue skies. So yeah. Right, let's go over in this direction. This is the sort of the northeast coast. Plus there is a little grass strip up here, Dornoch grass strip, that I've flown over a couple of times. So yeah, so we've got Dornoch airfield, which is basically a glass strip, is just here. Inverness is behind us. That's Invergordon. That's the Cromarty Firth, that stretch of water. And over here is another little grass strip called Easter Airfield. So a little bit of local knowledge for you there. And then all of that's the North Sea, basically. Yeah. So yeah, that's Invergordon there. Let's see. Clement, will you be able to come up with another PMDG 777 tutorial soon? Yes, I am working on proper 777 tutorials. I've got a few of the videos fully scripted already, so I am actively working on them, but if you saw how much work goes into them, you'd appreciate how it takes time. So proper 777 tutorials are being worked on. I can't give it a timeline as to when they'll be ready, because I want to make sure that I do them well, I do them right. I'm confident that I've learned the 777 in enough detail that I'll be able to give like correct and accurate and insightful information about the aircraft. So now it's just, you know, that's always the first part, is like actually just learning the aircraft in detail, and then from there I can then write a good script where I can kind of point out all the interesting bits and pieces that you might not know about the aircraft intuitively. So so a lot of the time that's been spent so far is just literally been learning the aircraft, and anyone who has a PMDG aircraft knows how much documentation and paperwork you have to go through. So a lot of the time has been spent learning it, but I think I've learned it as best as I can, and I'm now ready to do videos about it. Let's see, Clement, in Kenya we say Jambo. Nice. I'll try and remember that. Jambo. Right, let's see, Andy, Google HP Reverb G2, that's the one. That's the Badger. Still recommend the Valve Index. Okay. So many options nowadays. Some far more suited to simming. Yeah, that's the thing, is if I, because I've been toying with the idea of building myself a new computer. But the thing is, when I build computers, I always go for it's kind of like a 5-year cycle. So I want to invest in sort of top of the line hardware for a computer. And one of the things I want to make sure is that it would be good enough to do VR stuff, because when I've been dabbling with DCS, one of the biggest limitations I've got at the moment is in DCS. I'm trying to control my view with a little hat stick on my joystick here, and I've got a lever on my throttle quadrant here, which is which I'm using for zoom, and it's very unintuitive. So yeah, I want to get a VR headset so I can play something like DCS, because I think that will be like that. I think that game's just ideal for a VR setup. Yeah, maybe we'll see. Let's see. Let's see, Matt, 35 years, a Met man, 18 Lossie. Ah, fantastic. Yeah, Lossie's way yonder somewhere. Yeah, so that was, yeah, Channeling Point of Fort George is just behind us there. So yeah, obviously you got Kinloss somewhere, and Lossie's a bit further down the road as well. Ah, fantastic. Ah, good. It's pretty amazing actually. If you go towards Aberdeen from Inverness, you literally get to skirt right along the edge of Kinloss and Lossiemouth. If ATC are very nice, you actually get to go into the Kinloss and Lossiemouth airspace as well. So you get to see both airports because they're quite close to each other, and the view from the sky is quite spectacular. So no, I love heading out that way. As a student, they haven't let me loose yet. I still need to prove that I can be let loose in a real aircraft. But yeah, I've been over that way for a couple of nav lessons, and it's yeah, it's an amazing sight. Let's see, Clement. We are now at top of the drop for Victor Hotel from Ski PMG. Top of the drop. Oh, okay, sorry, top of the drop. Okay, I see. I know what you mean now. I was like, top of the drop? What's that? This is, gotcha. Okay, I got it now. Let's see. Takeoff, I think that's how you pronounce your name. You may need at least one connected glove as well, working with the RV class. No, not necessarily, because I've got a HOTAS set up here, so almost everything I could probably do exclusively through my HOTAS setup, unless I was to fly, unless I was to use a VR headset for flying in like P3D and flying in a commercial aircraft. But in DCS, I could probably just about do everything through my HOTAS setup here. That's the idea, at least. Let's see. Aberdeen Aviation, welcome. How's it going? Sorry, I'm going to rattle through the comments a bit quickly here, just to catch up. Clement, how about the stuff you said you do, like removing the before flight covers? We want to buy them. Did I say I was going to make some of those? I said I was going to try and make some physical copies of the procedure guides that I write, but did I say I was going to? I don't know. Anyway, SV, hey man, loving the 737 series. Probably the only guy who's taking out so much time to explain everything. Will start flying very soon. Oh, thank you very much, SV. I'm glad you like the videos, and thank you for watching them. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If anyone wants to kind of help me as a creator, if you like any of my videos, if you think that my videos could help people, the best thing you could do for me is to like the videos on YouTube, because that tells YouTube that I'm actually doing something right. But share the videos as well. Share them on Reddit. Share them on AvSim. If you're in the Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 inside the program, share them on their forums. please, I want to. Please, Microsoft. I'm still waiting. Please. Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously, the best thing you can do is just share my videos, because that helps me reach a bigger audience, and yeah, that just helps me a lot. So if you think my videos are any good, please recommend them to others, please share them, please help me get my name out there, and that will help me out tremendously. Let's see. David, I was going to request an A350 tutorial, but I appreciate it's not fair on you. It's not that it's not fair. Are there any decent A350 add-ons out there at the moment? That would be my question, because I mean, I've been out of the loop for a while, to be fair. but I don't remember seeing any A350s being made by any reputable developers. But I could be wrong. As I said, I'm a little bit out of the loop. Let's see, Luciano, do I fly on VATSIM sometimes? I do occasionally. I am part of BA Virtual, so I have done the odd flight with them here and there. Yeah, I do fly very occasionally on VATSIM, although I'm very rusty and I'd need to get back into it. Sorry, SK, close the checklist, sorry, I just have. Aberdeen, how's operations coming along for Inverness's next airline? Things are going well. Unfortunately, we've been stuck in lockdown, like many other flight schools around Scotland, so we haven't been able to do anything. There's 1 or 2 essential flights that we have handled, so we've been able to, or I haven't, but one of the directors has been going in and taking care of that. Let's see, but yeah, it's not all has been lost. We've developed a new website, so we've got a new website now for Highland Aviation, which is so much better than the last one. So people have responded very well to that. So it's been the lockdown has been a productive time. So if anyone wants to go check it out, it's www.highlandaviation.com. Not Highlands, it's just a singular, highlandaviation.com. Highland Aviation being all one word. Let's see. Andy McAvoy, what's the estimated flight time? Undetermined. We are on our way up to Wick from Inverness just now, and then once we get close to Wick, I will let you, the lovely viewers, decide. Do we go north to Orkney and Shetland, or do we go west, basically follow the coast all the way around to Skye, and then maybe Loch Ness, come back into Inverness from there? Completely up to you. Let's see, Remco, love from Belgium, amazing 7372. Oh, thank you very much, Remco, and hello from Scotland. Thank you very much for coming along. Mustafa, loads to fly with you, Doof. Watch your tutorials, want to donate, but in Turkey there's no donate system at YouTube. Mustafa, you don't have to worry about donating. You watching my videos helps me out a lot anyway, so thank you very much. And I'm very glad that you could learn from my videos. Clements, have I considered the Quality Wing 787? Yes, I have. I want kind of a long-term plan. What I want to do is I want to get the 777 videos done. I want to do the 747 because I've got the PMDG 747, and I want to do that. And then yeah, then I'll maybe look at some other things after that. Hopefully, when I finish the 777, hopefully there'll be a lot of carryover from the 777 to the 74. So hopefully I'll be able to get a 747 series done relatively quickly, because I have flown the 747 a few times already, and I've started. I've got a few learning notes, but that's kind of my plan at the moment. It's 777, 747. I'll get all of my real world kind of PPL vlogs out of the way at some point as well, and then I'll kind of just see where life takes us, because by the time I've done all that, probably we'll have Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 will be out, and then of course everyone is going to jump on that bandwagon. So yeah, let's see. Ari, welcome. Been a while, miss your FSX tutorials. Yeah, it's been a while since I've got some proper videos done. It's just the tutorials for me, I don't want to just learn the plane, sit down and just ad-lib it. I want to make structured, good quality videos, very informative and valuable videos. I don't want to just say, like this, you click on this switch, you click on that one, then the engines start, then you click on this, then you click on that, speak to ATC and then take off. I don't want to do that. I want to give people the understanding what happens when you hit that switch, what is the plane doing, why do you have to hit that switch before you can start the engines, because that switch then turns on the fuel pumps, because if you don't turn on the fuel pumps then the engine won't start. Oh, got it, okay. So I want to make sure that the aim with my videos is always I want to answer the questions that you have about the plane before you ask them. That's the kind of the big defining thing when I make my videos, is I want to make sure that I answer as many questions as I can before, so that when you watch the video you kind of get everything you're expecting from the video without having to then ask and go, oh, what's going on? Yeah. So anyway, right, sorry guys, we're going to try and catch up with the comments here. Let's see, Clement, did I get a chance to do alpha test for Flight Sim 2020? Nope. Chris Sim, F6 or P3D? This is P3D version 4 that we have. W Vicho, I think it's how you pronounce the name. I'm just going to say Dzień dobry because I don't know too much Polish, sadly. Let's see. David, consider it done. Not sure what consider or who you speak to when you said consider that. Anyway, Ari, would have loved a beta test Flight Sim 2020, didn't get a chance. Have to wait till it comes out for the general public. Well, you might have to wait long because Flight Sim 2020 is still in its alpha stage of testing, and I saw a rumour the other day that when they send out the invites, they're only sending out 10 invites at a time. So they're still going through their alpha stage of testing, but if you look at the development roadmap, there is a beta test stage as well, where they're probably going to open it up to more people. So keep your fingers crossed. There is still an opportunity that you might be able to get some form of early access to the sim before its official release. But saying that, early access is basically the release date now for a lot of games and bits and pieces, so there might still be an opportunity to get in before it's officially released. That's the point I'm trying to make. Let's see, Aberdeen, Aerosoft made an A350, I think. Ah, okay. I will have to have a look at that. Comic Crazy, welcome. Just coming back to Flight Sim after 20 years. Love F6, looking forward to 2020. I thought this was a cool stream. No worries, Comic. Thank you very much for coming along. Let's see. Alexandru, don't think your videos are very good. They are the best. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. I read the first half of that, like, just before I spoke it, and I was just like, I don't think your videos are very good. I was just like, do you know how much time and effort I put into them? They're the best. Oh, I love you. Let's see. Mayank, Airsoft has a A350 XWB add-on. Oh, okay. I will have to look into that then. Actually, I'll make a note. Aerosoft. Airsoft A350. Done. Let's see. David, VFR, how do I know where I am? I don't know exactly where I am, but local knowledge, I'm flying in the Highlands. Basically, actually, I've got a prop with me. I've got my actual chart, and it's not a map, it's a chart that I use for flying, and I actually have my cross country plotted on this, which I haven't been able to do since before Christmas. Oh, I haven't been able to fly since before Christmas. It's horrifying. No, I flew just after New Year at some point. But yeah, so I've got my cross country mapped on this, but basically I think we are about here. Because if you look at, well, you won't be able to see on the chart. Hang on, where are we? Yeah, I think we're just about here. Because if you look on the chart, there's kind of like a bow-shaped stretch of land there. And I think that's what we have on the screen just now, is this kind of like bow-shaped stretch of land there. So this is essentially VFR. You're just visually doing stuff and looking. And I've got a map, or sorry, so I made the mistake myself. I've got a chart to look at where I am and figure out what I'm doing and stuff. So I think at Wick as well, we'll see like a town built up in the sim. And then I think there's also a river that comes out of Wick as well, so we'll know when we hit Wick, when we see an estuary into the North Sea. Anyway, let's see. Andy, I gotta go. Wife wants to watch a movie. She tends to fall asleep early, so might be off the line. No worries, Andy. You go and have fun, and we might see you back later on. Let's see. If it's Fatisali, I think it's how you pronounce your name. When is a new flight sim going to be out? We don't know. It's there hasn't been an official announcement, so we don't know, and I'm not privy to any information. I've not spoken directly with the developers. I'm not in any early access program. I'm not in the alpha program. I don't know. I'm not privy to any information. And if I was, I would tell you. I would say, look, I'm speaking to developers. I know what they're doing, but I can't say anything. I would be, you guys, anyone who's been around my channel knows that I'm really transparent. So no, I'm not involved with Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 anything at the moment. Let's see. David, speaking to Andy. Clement, which add-on is it that helps you run the checklist as you confirm your inputs and also running the sim at the same time? Do you mean in this aircraft, or do you mean for my like tutorial videos? This aircraft, it's a built-in function. It's part of the add-on, so I can just hit Shift plus number 2, and it can bring panels up and then close them. If you mean my other videos, like my 737 and that, it's not a program, it's simply video editing. I made a checklist in Photoshop, and I'm just kind of like slapping that on top of the video and editing it all together, and editing the changes in the colour of text and things like that. Let's see, Fat Sally, learned so much from your videos and tutorials, thank you. You're welcome, thank you very much for watching my videos, I do appreciate that. Carlos, hey Doof, nice to see you again. It's good to see you too, Carlos, how's it going? And Clement, which is the streaming add-on that I'm using? So I'm using Streamlabs OBS is the software that I'm using to live stream. Oh, if you mean all of this stuff, I think it's what's it called? Hold up. It's called Fly Live Studio. So there's another program called Fly Live Studio, and that's what's giving me all of this information here. The kind of the design of it is all custom, like my black and orange like kind of thing is all custom, but all of the data that's being pulled out as part of that application there. Sorry, that's probably what you meant there. Oh, turbulence. Hello. Let's see. Ari, are there any requirements to get early access to the Flight Sim 2020 product tests? The only requirement is if you go to the Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 website, there is a link to sign up for the alpha program. Samuel has just subscribed. Thank you very much, Samuel. There is a link to sign up. So what you do is when you sign up, there is a little bit of a survey. So they'll ask you like, how long have you been playing flight sims? Are you a real pilot? If so, how much experience do you have? The other thing you have to do is you also have to give them or send them a DirectX diagnostics report, and they give you the instructions to do that on the website. But basically what that does is that gives them a kind of a snapshot of your computer specs and the hardware that's in your computer, and then I guess that then allows them to decide, right, who are we going to involve in the alpha tests. So they're probably going to say, right, we'll take people with very powerful computers, we'll ask them to probably run particular settings and see how they do, and then we'll take people who've got very like low hardware specifications, and we'll ask them to do some tests as well, so they can get an idea of the kind of what hardware is required to run the simulator. So you do that. So you fill out a quick survey, you give them that DirectX diagnostic report, and then you sit and wait for an email from them, basically. Right, let's have a look. Clement, I prefer you do the Flight Factory A350. Airsoft has the external booster 350 panel of a 787. Well, the two panels are very similar, to be fair. Let's have a look. Let's see, Alan. They are the best. You should have got early access to Flight Sim 2020. I don't know if they're involving all of the like major creators and major sim outlets in the alpha testing. That's the problem. I know that they had like a launch event or an announcement event over in America, and I know that I wasn't invited to that, which I was a bit miffed about. Like they invited guys like Frugal Sim, and what annoyed me is there's a few other people who were not really dedicated flight simmers, like they were people who do like real world flight trip reviews and stuff that got invited as well. And like, there's a few people who are not really involved in flight sim that got invited along, which irked me. I'm gonna leave it at that. But the only thing I can assume is they've got much bigger audiences than I do, so Microsoft is all about pumping those numbers. Let's see. Umer, Dead Reckoning? Not really. I'm not really applying any... I'm not really flying this properly. I've basically set the autopilot and I'm just going. I'm not really calculating where I'm going, how fast I'm going, how long it's going to take to get there. So this is kind of... I'm still doing this off of local knowledge, essentially. I'm in my neighborhood, so I kind of recognize where things are. Right, because with Dead Reckoning, I would be going, right, I have, 85 nautical miles to fly. I'm flying at a ground speed of 130 knots, so it's going to take me X number of minutes to get there. So that would be Dead Reckoning, but I'm not doing that. I'm just kind of seeing where I end up, basically. Clement, would I do a tutorial on the G1000? You're a bit troubled. If you have a look at my basic tutorial series, I've done a video which I think is called Glass Cockpits, which kind of talks about the G1000, although it is the default G1000 and the default FS6 Cessna, but that might help you a little bit. That might get you started on the G1000. So if you have a look through some of my older videos, one called, I think it's FS6 tutorial, Glass Cockpit, then that might help you. Let's see. Sorry, just text my girlfriend before she starts shouting at me. Right. So yeah, speaking of, this is Wick Airport coming up just now. So what we'll do is I'll loop around kind of the end of the runway here. Let's see. Chandavir, even you did your last flight in January. Finally, you'll be writing your CPL exam in 3 weeks. Good luck with that. Hope it all goes well. Hope you get the result you want. Yeah, so there we go. So that's Wick Airport there. And you can kind of see, so you can see we've got the town of Wick there. You can see the airport there, and then there's a big kind of cutout of land. And that'll be... You probably won't be able to see it on the chart here, but... There you go. And mind the numbers and things like that. That's my cross-country flight plan that I've forgot to rub off the chart. Let's see. Let's see. Clement, do for a general question, is the A320 totally out? What do you mean? What do you mean by totally out? Again, it's another aircraft I haven't seen a high quality add-on for, but if you mean is it out the question? Am I not going to do a tutorial on it? I probably would do a tutorial on it. I just it's not on my radar at the moment. Clement, Flight Chops was invited. Well, yeah, but Flight Chops is an aviation vlogger, so I can understand him being there. I'm talking about the guys who like go on like a business class flight and then do a review about it, but don't actually do a review. They have they're basically wearing a GoPro, and they're basically making every single viewer of that video jealous, because it's usually they're sitting in business class and then they have text across the bottom going, I had chicken curry meal, it was very nice, and they've got some like ethereal, nice, calming music in the background, and it's just like, they get invited? It's not really. So you've recorded the video of you sitting on a plane in a business class seat, when for some reason that's popular, and you get invited to a flight simulation event. SK's in, let it go, let it go. I can't, I was really not happy, I really wanted to be there. Maybe. Although, what was it? One of my viewers did send me an email address to contact the developers. So I might contact them and say, when you do start opening it up to the media connections, put my name on the list. Nigel Jones, welcome, how's it going? Let's see, Ari, would love to have flights in 2020. Tried reinstalling F6 Gold Edition a few times. Doesn't run well on your machines. No, it doesn't, unfortunately. Yeah, I think the limitations of FSX, in that they can't take advantage of modern hardware, I think is starting to become apparent in the last couple of years. Right, anyway, guys and girls, we are coming up to the northern tip of Scotland right here. Do we continue north and fly over Orkney and Shetland, or do we turn west and basically follow the coast all the way around to the west coast of Scotland? We can either go north to the Orkney and Shetland Islands and then come back in a straight line, or we can kind of do a loop of the Highlands. What say you? Kiku, welcome, how's it going? Robert, building the 747 model with working lights in your video on the runway and taxiway markets has been useful this week. Ah, fantastic! Thank you very much. Well, thank you for watching the video. I'm glad it could be of assistance. It's funny. That's well, it's been one of my most popular videos. But I've had people say, like, yeah, I've had like modelers say, oh, that really helped me like build a model of an airport, or but yeah, I remember people saying, oh yeah, I was building an airport in Minecraft, and yeah, and your video helps us. Okay, well, Minecraft is basically digital Lego, so I guess that works. Let's see. Ari, you live in Canada, central Saskatchewan, to be very nice. Clements said A380, will it ever be in operation? Not 320. Ah, okay. I don't know. I know that they're retiring all the big quad engine aircraft for passenger flights. So I don't know. I don't know how long the A380s are going to be around. Everyone's jumping onto the A350 and the 787 and 777 bandwagon. It's all long-range twin engines nowadays. I know that quad engine aircraft are going to be used for cargo flying still, so they're still being used for cargo flights. But then it's going to be the 747s, I think, are really superior in cargo carrying to the A380s. So, and of course, Airbus have already got their Belugas, which are the dedicated cargo aircraft. So, yeah, I think the A380 is on borrowed time, sadly. It could disappear as quickly as it came into existence, which is going to be a real shame. Alexandra, contact the developers and flip them off. No, I don't want to do that. I did that with a previous flight sim developer, and they're not developing a flight simulator anymore. And I didn't flip them off per se, I just gave them a very scathing review of their product. But definitely burned some bridges, I suspect. Kylie Turner, west is best. North, west to Glasgow, west, or Prestwick, I'll wave out the window, continue north. So we're looking like the wests are outnumbering the norths, unfortunately. Looks like the wests are going to win it. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 wests to 2 norths. Which is probably for the best, actually, because, I mean, who wants to go to Orkney? You get some funny people up there. And I say that with love and experience from people who have flown down from Orkney. Well, once you get out to the corners of the Scottish Highlands, it gets authentic. You get really authentic Scottish people. I'll leave it at that. People with accents barely I can understand. So yeah, so we're going to cut across the northern kind of edge of Scotland now, and I do believe that there are plans to build a spaceport or something along here. along one of these peninsulas or points of land. There was talk of building a like a small, kind of a small-sized rocket spaceport, which would then launch north, sort of over the North Pole. This would be pretty cool. Of course, it won't be modeling this, but yeah, kind of in keeping with aviation and all the rest of it. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Silence! I'm going to track that number. I'm going to find out who's calling me. I will find you. And I'll do nothing because I actually don't know how to track phone numbers. Let's see. Alexandru, fuel status. Fuel is good. We're sitting on about 21 gallons per side, although the tooltip there says 22. But from here it looks like 21 gallons per side, so plenty of fuel. And of course we've only got one person loaded into the aircraft, so... yeah, so we should have some good range. Actually, one of these panels will give us our range. So yeah, there we go. Endurance, 4 hours, 4.5 hours endurance still. 590 nautical miles. So that'll be enough to get us to France from here, probably. So yeah, plenty of fuel, plenty of endurance. So good. Clement, how about I go do long haul flights like Matt Davies, Flight Kenku, Flight Simmer? Possible? Yeah, but they're just boring. And plus, you know, I'd rather I've got more things that I want to do in my day than sit at a computer for 8 hours. I mean, I have done long haul flights. I just time accelerate through them because yeah, it'd just be boring otherwise. And plus, I don't think I can stay interesting for more than 6 hours. You know, this is the first live stream I've done for a while, and I can feel my throat is already starting to strain from talking so much. So, and this, I guess, is technically going to be a long haul flight. It's going to be a good 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. Great, right. I just had a request from my missus to fly over Loch Inver, and now I need to find it so I can figure out how to fly to it. Right, Loch Inver. I say that because we're planning a road trip to Loch Inver soon, so and I doubt it's even going to be on the map. So let's see, where's Plockton? Ullapool, where's Ullapool? I need an Ullapool. You know, for someone whose ambition is to be a pilot, I've got incredibly bad sense of geography. Strathcarron, Torridon, Achnasheen, Gairloch. See, I don't want to just Google it. Ullapool, there it is. Oh, there's a waypoint for it. Oh, well that makes life oh so much easier. Well then again, if I could use the Stornoway VOR, find my way to it that way. Oh wait, no, it's not actually at Ullapool though, is it? Oh, there's Loch Inver. Oh, that's a bit easier to find actually. Yeah, I can fly to Loch Inver. That's fine. Right. Yeah, we'll go to Loch Inver, darling. Let's see. Right. Alexandru, come to Italy, Rome, Campiano. Is it Campiano or Champiano? I'll come and pick you up. That's very kind of you. I have been to Italy once. I was I went to Milan and then north to Monza me and one of my best mates, we came over for the Monza GP. Awesome long weekend. Fantastic atmosphere there. And Lewis Hamilton won. So big up for Britain. Although I did fall in love with Ferraris when I came to Italy. I'd never been too keen on them, but then just being at the Formula One event and sort of seeing a few up close, and seeing the Tifosi and seeing their passion and that, it's just like, yeah, I like Ferraris now. Let's see, Matt, you did Bryce to ASR in real time whilst drinking Whiskey Max all over. Oh, there is a history on this channel. Usually at Christmas and for my birthday, I usually do a birthday live stream, although I missed it this year, where I get merry, and yeah. Although on the last live stream I did where I got drunk, I managed to do 2 surprisingly good landings in the 737. Yeah, flew from Luton to Inverness, landed drunk at Inverness, somehow did a turnaround at Inverness, and then flew back to Luton and landed when I was even more drunk. And then I got really, really egotistical and bigged myself up for being able to land a 737 manually whilst drunk. Let's see. Clements, you've done up to 20 hours. In real time? You did not sit at your computer for 20 hours non-stop, did you? Ari, let's see, where do you see your future career in aviation? Still undecided myself, but I know military is out of the question, way too intense for me. Don't count it out. I'd never count it out. Plus, there's always lots of different things you can do in the military. It doesn't have to be, solely intense stuff. But for me, where do I see myself? There has been talk of me becoming an instructor at Highland Aviation. I think because first of all, I won't be able to become a commercial pilot because I have the red-green colour blindness, and I wouldn't be able to get a class. Well, I probably could get a class 1 medical, but I would be restricted to daytime only flights, or I know that there's certain medical restrictions which say you can be a pilot, but you have to fly with someone who's in a, you have to fly with someone else. But to be honest, I'd probably be happy becoming a flying school instructor and being an instructor at the sort of the lower level, because our head of training at Highland Aviation, Sam, he's been up to he was flying 737s, funnily enough, and he's come back, so he's kind of been from GA up to commercial, come back down, and he says it's so much more fun flying GA stuff than it is flying airliners. So no, I'd probably, if I can become an instructor, a GA instructor, I think I'd be quite happy with that. Gamma, time to practice a spin? No. I might do a barrel roll if enough people ask nicely, but spin, I can't remember how to do spins. I think you just pull up and then give it a bunch of rudder. I don't know how to do a spin properly. I've read how to do a spin. I know how to recover a spin, but I don't know how to intentionally enter one. I think it's you just stall, almost stall, and then kick the rudder, don't you? And then you let it develop, and then it controls forward, opposite rudder until it stops, and then pull it out of it. But maybe if people ask, I'll do a barrel roll. Maybe. Let's see, Waleed, you're the best doofer. Thank you. I was gonna make a joke there and say I'm the only doofer. Get it? Because like as if doofers. Never mind. Trebor, welcome. How's it going? Good to see you. Gamma, is the cabin temp still in control? Yes, it is nice and steady, unlike my mentality. Trevor, thanks for not forgetting about us and making vids. Nah, no problem at all. I haven't made, I haven't been as active as I should be. What airport is that? Don't recognise that airport. What airport is that? Hang on, I've got to go all detective suddenly. Right, so is that's Dunnet Bay. Is that Dune Ray? Is that where the nuclear thing is? Do they have an airport there? Is that Dunnet Bay? Yeah, that's Dunnet Bay. Yeah, that could be Dune Ray, where the nuclear plant, the nuclear power plant is. Do you mind? Weather, thank you. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's Dune Ray. That's where the nuclear power plant is. Ah. I don't remember there being an airport there. I've never... All the times I've flown around the top of Scotland, I've never... In a simulator, I've never seen that. Interesting. Let's see. Let's see, Gamma, Boo F1, Endurance Racing. Yeah, I've to be honest, I've fallen out of love with F1 now. I've tried watching it with the new V6 engines. They just put me to sleep every time I try and watch it. Let's see. Trevor, I'm still working on the flight school. Did I get the PPL? Yes, I'm still working at the flight school. I haven't been working the past couple of months because no, I have not got my PPL yet. I am at the stage where I need to do my cross country, but I was ready to do my cross country flight before Christmas. Every time I booked an aircraft to do it, the weather was bad, and then as soon as the weather turns good, we all get locked indoors. So yeah, bad times. Let's see. Clements, you flying from KFLL to OTH 777. Nice. Matt, sounds like a commercial pilot in the making. Yeah, I think you messaged that when I was talking about being drunk, so sounds about right. It started session, said the autopilot, set Unicom, I veil to top of the descent. Fair enough. Alexandru, no spins, drink something. I don't have anything exotic to drink, unfortunately. Gamma, spin in I-wing is power install, then hold the rudder. A2A does them nice. I know A2A does them well. It's sign approved. There's a sticker above the left door. No, there's not. Where's the sticker? I don't see a sticker. Doesn't say anything here. Assume that all contaminants, including water, are removed from fuel and fuel system before. No, it's nothing about spinning there. Maneuvering speed 110. That's fine. Nothing about spinning. Oh yeah, something I found earlier when I was just testing this aircraft. The sun visors. You end up smacking yourself in the face with this. Like, ow. The sun visor's really that big on the 182 rather. Oh well. Let's see. Matt Jolly, they do indeed have a strip at Duray. Oh, okay. I really did not know that. Because like I'm looking at my chart, they've got restricted airspace, but I always thought that's because it's a nuclear power plant. But okay, I did not realise there's an airstrip there as well. Good to know. Alan, I say, Joss, would you be so kind as to demonstrate a barrel roll for us? Oh, I could do. I mean, it has to be a lot of people want to see it. If a lot of people want to see it, I'll do it. But just wanted to. Francisco, hello, Doof. Have I tried to land on sea? Does it really reproduce the waves using amphibious aircraft? Thank you from Brazil. I don't know. I have flown like the amphibious aircraft a couple of times, but I've not really done it properly. Obviously, when you're landing in water, you have to be very careful which way the waves are going, or the swell, what we call the swell, and pay attention to which direction. Excuse me, I'm burping. Which direction the wind is coming from. But in the simulator, I think the water is too flat in the simulator, so I don't think it's particularly realistic. Alan, go on, you know you want to. Alexandra, do it. Right, well, I need altitude, because I don't know where I'm going to come out if I do this. Alright. Let's see where we end up, shall we? Let's see, Robert, a barrel roll would be a good way to get over your recent concussion. Yeah, we turn you upside down, you get a bit more blood flow into the brain, heals everything a lot quicker. Hamza, welcome, how is it going? Good to see you. Oh, flipping heck. Okay. So the credit for the following goes to my lovely girlfriend, who's being incredibly supportive and watching the stream along with all of you here. So thank you, darling. So Airfield Dounreay was an airfield in North Scotland. Construction of the airfield began in 1942. A camp was built to house the workers who built the RAF aerodrome and later the aircrew and ground staff. The buildings were Nissen huts built in groups christened with the name of an aircraft: the Hurricane, the Swordfish, the Martinet and the Corsair. It was originally intended for use by Coastal Command, but in 1943 Coastal Command announced they would not occupy it. It was then offered to serve as an airbase for Bomber Command, but they never used it because it was unsuitable for bombers, not expandable and dangerous because of nearby hills. There you go. A brief history of Dounreay Airfield. Let's see. Alan, the forward view is really good in this aircraft. Yes, it is. Very, very kind of spacious aircraft. Of course, built on well, a very similar airframe to the exceptionally successful Cessna 172. So this is basically just a beefed up, more powerful version of a Cessna 172, essentially. Let's see. Callum Thompson, been doing a lot of time on X-Plane Mobile. It actually has developed into a reasonable sim, dare I say. Despite the $39.99 annual subscription, there is whole world maps. Ah, okay. I mean, because the desktop simulator is not much more expensive. Oh god, my voice. Is not much more expensive than that. So, and plus, it's probably you could do a lot more with the desktop sim. But yeah, I get like newsletters from and emails from X-Plane, and yeah, I know they put a lot of a lot of development into the mobile, and pretty much anything you can do on the desktop version you can do on the mobile version. And I think from a development standpoint as well, it's also beneficial to develop on mobiles because the hardware is probably a lot more restrictive, so you have to develop the simulator in a way that is efficient, which will then kind of translate well into the desktop version of the sim. So yeah. Stefan has just subscribed. Thank you very much, Stefan. Welcome on board. Oh god, is that really cheesy to say that? If I've got that sound cue and then welcome on board. Ah, sod it, I'm running with it. I'm a aviation geek and flight sim channel, so yeah, I'll run with it. Why not? Right. Hamza, very nice. Someone said I used to look like Borat in school. Like I think at school, we like someone did like celebrity lookalikes, and then apparently I came out as Borat. Yeah, what you gonna do? Right, so we're gonna get up to about 7,000. I probably should lean the aircraft out a bit as well, get a bit more power out of it. I'll put the engine RPMs in as well. So, oh gosh, I would imagine that you can do a barrel roll in this. Oh, hello. Oh gosh, now that is a name I'll struggle to pronounce. He's... oh gosh, how do I pronounce that? Hang on, why is it not even showing up in my list here? Oh, hang on, why is my mini feed not giving me the name? Izuchuru, I think was how your name was written there. Thank you very much for subscribing. I'm sorry, I do apologise. I don't know. I've got a mini feed in OBS here, but it's not. It does show me who's subscribing, but it's not showing me there. So donations, merch, subscribers, members, and super chats. But you're not showing me my subscribers. OBS is lying to me. Sorry. I do apologise for missing your name, but welcome to the channel. Or welcome aboard. Right. Are we ready to do a barrel roll? Ari just signed up for the Flight Sim 2020 tests. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for you, buddy. Hope you get in. Callum, when we say restrictive, found out last week your phone was more powerful than your laptop and your iPad. Okay, never mind. Let's see. Lancia came here just to say thank you for your tutorials. I learned how to use the VOR thanks to you. Oh, thank you very much for watching the videos. I'm glad you got some value and benefit out of them. So thank you very much for watching them. Izuku, you don't have to pronounce it. No worries. Thank you very much for subscribing, and welcome to the channel. I appreciate you supporting the channel in that way. Right, and also I do apologise for my voice keeps breaking on me for no reason whatsoever. Right, do we or do we not want to see a barrel roll? We are getting up to the northwest kind of tip of Scotland here, so yeah, we'll follow the coast around, and oh gosh, I better be ready to find Loch Inver, Scenic. These things are crazy. Just saying, like when you fully, like, I mean, and then it does, like, it goes out, and then it goes out further, and then you get the picture. It's a lot of work. Like the thing is, like, these are legally required in an aircraft. In the UK, as a pilot, you are legally required to carry one of these. How are you meant to use it? It's the most impractical thing for a pilot to use. Like, imagine trying to use something like this in your car. How is a pilot meant to use this thing in flight if they legitimately get lost and they legitimately don't know where they are? It's silly. Just saying. Right, sorry, I was just being really silly there for a moment. Yes please, go for it, and then go home for team biscuits. I mean, doing it close to rescue would be advisable. Right, okay. Right, gotta get my headset on, or headphones on tight for this. Right. Buckle your seatbelts, we go fly. Right, now I don't know aerobatics, so I don't know what correct aerobatic technique is, but I would imagine that we're going to dive to pick up some speed, pull up a bit, and then just tip it over and see where we end up. So here we go. So give it some full throttle. Now I need to be careful because the manoeuvring speed is 110, so I don't want to pull up too hard, otherwise I'm literally going to stress the aircraft. 135, 140, pull up there. There we go. Oh, lots of speed. Let the speed come down. Don't pull up too hard, otherwise we'll stress the aircraft. And the engine still works. Good. There we go. We only lost 1,000 feet in that. That's not too bad. Let's go the other way. So do 140 knots. I do want to learn aerobatics once I get my license, so I should probably flip it over. Kill the power so we don't overspeed. And then bring it back. And yeah, the engine splutters a little bit because it doesn't like being upside down. Who'd have thunk it? There we go. Excellent. Right. There you go. Not one, but two barrel rolls for your enjoyment and pleasure. Right. Let's dial the... There we go. Do that. And then we'll turn this on, go vertical speed down to arm the altitude, and then we'll pick up the heading again there. Alright. I think that's correct technique, where you pull up to a certain pitch and then roll it over, because inevitably the nose drops at the end of the barrel roll. So you do pitch up to a certain angle of it, not angle of attack, just a certain pitch, attitude, and then roll it over. So yeah. Right. Right, we've got engine, RPMs are good. We are climbing for some reason. No. No climb. The other way. There we go. Descend to 5,000. Let's see. Let's see. Where was I? Diogo. You're supposed to have it folded around the area you fly. I know, Diogo. I was joking. So yeah. So usually, yeah, you've got it. Yeah, I know. Sorry. I was mucking about for entertainment purposes. Yeah. So normally you do have it. So at the moment we are at the northwest corner. So this kind of this quadrant, or this kind of section of the map. So I know that we're just about here somewhere on the map. Ignore that there's restricted airspace there. But yeah, so yeah, you know, in reality, what you would do is you'd have your map folded, and then depending on which kind of section you fly into, you go, okay, I'm moving down, so I can just flip the map up, and now I'm on the next kind of page of the map, essentially. So, and then you just fold it up and stick that in the side pocket, so it's right there. And also, cool tip, real life, when you're flying and you're navigating, you don't always read the map in a north up orientation. Actually turn the map so that the map looks the direction that you're looking in. It makes it so much easier to go, oh right, there's a loch behind me and to the left. If I look, oh, there's a loch behind me to the left. Okay, right. So I know. So you look at you keep the map at the orientation that you're flying at, rather than looking at a north up view of it all the time. So there you go. Pro tip. I'm a professional student. Let's see. Let's see. Where was I? Chandelier, when they start to introduce to one of those maps. It's like, you must be kidding, yeah. I mean, the maps or the charts are not so bad. It's the flight calculators with like the sliding bit and the huge, wind thing on it that yeah, that scares me. Let's see, Diogo, iPad is way better. Yes, yeah, no, yeah, a lot of pilots are switching over to iPads and tablets, and like I've got a big, like a relatively big phone. Again, in the hope that I was going to be a pilot sooner than this. And then yeah, you've obviously got lots of different apps that you can use for flying. Let's see. Alexandru, woo! Alan, lovely jubbly, unicorns and rainbows and sick bags in the back. Alexandru, thanks. I can sleep. No worries. Loop the loop. No, Cessna probably could do a loop, but you're more likely to be like stalling at the top, so it kind of go at halfway and then just kind of go flip and then loop, complete the loop. Gamma, I missed them. Do another, just sat down. No, just rewind it. I have an aversion to flying recklessly on stream. Nahom, is it worth buying the A2A Cessna? Yes, it is. I highly recommend them. Oh, and my voice is breaking again. This always happens when I talk a lot after being quiet for so long. My vocal cords are not well exercised. Yes, no, the A2As are definitely worth the money. They are expensive compared to other GA planes, but they are totally worth the money. I always say that the A2A are like the PMDG of GA stuff. The A2A aircraft are very high quality. They've got all of these little extra features like the built-in checklists. Like you can do controls and things like that as well. So I can do various control various things from this panel here. You can load the aircraft here, and I know other GA aircraft have this sort of thing as well. But these are definitely built. The software is built to help train people. It's not just a simulation. It's also meant to be a sort of a training aid. And yeah, I highly recommend A2A stuff, and I'm not paid to say that. I have bought all of my A2A aircraft, and I love all of my A2A aircraft. Right, now, because my lady friend is watching, I need to try and find Loch Ness. Is that it? Right, yes, okay, so Loch Ness is just around the corner here. So, Kylie, if you're still watching, darling, we're coming up to Loch Ness. Let's see. Right, Alan, reckless but very professional. Good, I'm glad. I've been a passenger in an aircraft that's done a barrel roll. That sounds really bad because it sounds like a commercial aircraft. I got to fly in a Yak, in the back seat of a Yak 52 that's based at Inverness Airport, and yeah, the pilot and the owner of the aircraft took us up, and we did a few bits and pieces and a few aerobatic things, and I may have a video of that coming soon. So yeah, I was sat in the back of a Yak 52. and did a few. We did a few barrel rolls. We did a 4G level turn, and we did a couple of low passes at Inverness, basically showing off to everyone at the airport. So that was really cool. And I've got a video of all of that, so I will probably put that in as part of my PPL vlog series in a few weeks, hopefully. Cabin is cool, better turn on the heat. I guess so. I guess so. How do I turn on the heat? Wait, what's that down there? Cabin air, cabin heat. Oh, cabin heat's already on. Must be. Okay. Ooh, the cow flaps. Was I meant to have closed these earlier? I got a feeling I was meant to close them. Yeah, I need the cabin to be a bit cool actually. Worked up a sweat doing those barrel rolls. Let's see. Nahum, are you currently flying in a payware scenery or default? This is payware scenery. This is Orbex. Let's see. So I've got several products from Orbex. I've got Orbex, I think it's FDX Global, Orbex Open LC, and I've also got. No, sorry. Yes, I've got Orbex Global Vector. Orbex. What have I got? Can't remember now. I've got 3 products from Orbex. I've got Global Vector. I've got another global scenery improvement thing, and then I've got a Europe specific one, not the UK specific one. I've got a Europe specific scenery add-on. So yes, I've got 3 products from it's yes this is payware scenery for Europe at least. Yeah, I've got two global ones, and yeah, Open LC Europe, Global Vector, and then the other like global coverage one, just like the general improve the environment one after that. Let's see, Alexandru, are they working with low medium laptop specs? The A2A GA stuff? I would think so, yeah. I can't see any reason why they would require a high spec PC. They should work with low to medium specs. But if you've got any doubts, they've got a really busy forum, so you could check on their forums and make sure that yeah, you'll be able to run your computer, or you'll be able to run the plane with your computer. Alan, hello Doofus Lady Finn, thanks for letting them entertain us so well. Thankfully she's not here to like pull me off my computer and tell me I'm a nerd and stuff. Though unfortunately due to lockdown we're still living separately. Let's see, Francisco, thank you young man, no problem at all. No problemo. Let's see. Right, so we are coming up on Loch Inver, which is a tiny little village somewhere. Yeah, I've got to be careful I don't just fly straight by it. I think it's just down here. So what I'll do is I'm going to kind of curl around this head of land, and I think it's just in here somewhere. And yes, I know I'm using autopilot. So what? Makes my life so much easier, because I can actually focus on reading the chat and answering questions and having a chat with you boys and girls, rather than rather than concentrating on flying the aircraft. So it reduces my workload, and that's the whole point of an autopilot. Right, I'm gonna have a biscuit because I'm hungry, and I've put on a lot of weight since the lockdown started. Well, I haven't really put on a lot of weight. I've just substituted all of my muscle that I had from lifting weights. I've just substituted it all for fat, which is not good, but I like biscuits. So, I've got to make sure I don't miss locking her. Dude, I actually made that music. Gamma, thank you very much. $2. 5,000 foot barrel roll. YOLO. Well, I kind of have to since you donated, don't I? Right, autopilot off. Here we go. Hold on to your butts. I'm not going to worry about changing the propeller pitch or anything. I'm going to pull up higher this time. Where are we going to come out of this one? Well, that's not too bad, actually. Actually, no, let's dive straight into a second one. And there we go. And back we come. Perfect. And oh, come on. Wow, we almost came out exactly back at 5,000 feet. What do you think? Do I have a career as an aerobatic pilot ahead of me? Right, I'll get some power back in. There you go. Because you missed it the first time, Gamma, and you've been very, very generous with 2 donations. Thank you very much. Let's see, Steve, do you have the Piper Cub by A2A? I do not. I was tempted to get it, but I did not have it. Alright, Kylie, if you're still watching. Taster as well. Let's see, where are we? I've lost it. Yeah, so Loch Inver, where me and Kylie are about to go on a little road trip when we're allowed to, when the Scottish Government say we can. We are gonna go on a little road trip just down here. So yeah, so we've got this little, tiny little island here. So Loch Inver is just hiding in here somewhere. Let's see, Steve, very fun playing the Cub. Yeah, it looks like there's a couple real ones based at Inverness Airport that I've sort of seen up close, and they do look like good fun. Alexandru, listen to the engine and how Jeremy Clark could have said power. I can't do his voice properly. Power. No, that's too growly. Power. I can't do it. I can't do it well tonight for some reason. Yeah. Let's see. Duke. I only have one A2A aircraft, which is the free one they put over on lockdown. That's still a good aircraft though. It still has a lot of the features that a lot of their paid models have. It's got their probably got their AccuSim technology built into it. Yeah, she's texting me. Imagine I went to sleep and missed it. Better not, woman. Better not fall asleep. Do you know how much money I've spent in fuel getting here? Yes. So there we go. So Loch Inver is going to be a tiny little village that's just based in here according to the chart. Literally right there. That'll be Loch Inver. So myself and Kylie will be going there on a little road trip, and we'll probably take that road right there that will lead past that loch, which will be unnamed on my chart here. But yeah, there we go. Right, so okay, I've done my duty as a good boyfriend. I've flown my missus to a virtual Loch Inver, and now I'm going to continue flying to Skye, which should be straight ahead of us. Let's see. I've lost myself again. Right. Okay, so this next point of land is, what's that? Yeah, so we're flying over Inard Bay right now, which is down all this water down here. And then, yeah, straight ahead of us we've got what's called the Summer Isles. That's funny. Summer in Scotland, and they're calling it the Summer Isles. That's funny. Right. Anyway, yeah. So we're basically going to keep on flying in a straight line over the Summer Isles. That's funny. There's no such thing as summer in Scotland. Let's see. Let's see, Chandavir, have I done spins in an actual aircraft? No, I haven't. It's actually in the UK PPL, it's not a requirement. It's a requirement to talk about spins and learn how to recover from them, but there's no practical element to doing spins for the UK PPL or LAPL, which is like a simpler version of the PPL in the UK. So no, I've not done spins. I do know that the flying school I work for, we're trying to, or it was talked about, because we've got a Cessna 172 which you can do spins in. However, you have to have a certain type of harness and a certain type of seat belts to do it. And our aircraft at the moment only has like the basic car, like, you know, lap belt and shoulder belt. Whereas I think to do spins in a 172, strictly speaking, you should have a 4-point harness, I think. So I know that we were in the process of trying to procure one of those and get the certification to do spins. I think that's still a plan. But yeah, that was it. Because if you want to become an instructor, you have to do practical spin training. And we were working on getting certified to provide instructor training at Inverness. So yeah, so we then needed to get the Cessna sort of spin certified, so we could then do spin training for instructors. That was it. Let's see. Duke Minecrafter. Sorry, my voice is going. Yes, it's very good. Yes, that's the P-40 Warhawk, isn't it? Let's see, Waleed, you're actually a great pilot. Am I? I don't know what constitutes a great pilot, but thank you very much. I appreciate that comment. Alan, welcome. How's it going? Or Alain, maybe, is how you pronounce your name. Welcome. How's it going? Clement, I want to come to Scotland on vacation. Probably look for you. Yeah, it's quite easy to find me. I'm at the airport nearly 7 days a week. I have actually had a couple of people recognise me. There's one guy actually yeah, he was going on a flight from Inverness down to London, a commercial flight, and he had plenty of time to kill before his flight. So he literally walked from the main terminal down to the flying school to come and say hi to me and chat to me. So yeah, I'm not too difficult to find. But just be aware, if anyone does come to find me at work, I am working, and I am kept quite busy in my job. So you're welcome to come and say hi. But yeah, I am a busy boy at work, so you're absolutely more than welcome to come and poke your head into the flying school. But I am working, and I am very committed to my work and to my job. So yeah, on that occasion, yeah, I was working with our accountant on some things. So thankfully we kind of reached the natural break anyway, but we're having a break. But yeah, I had to kind of get back to work. So anywho, let's see, Gary, can I ask why you're using a hard map and not something like Plan G or a little nav map? It's because I'm not really navigating properly, or I'm not really doing it strictly. Plus, using a hard map, because I'm Gary, if you're not aware, I am a real PPL student. I'm about 2/3 of the way through a PPL course, and using a hard map, it's kind of just keeping your skills fresh. Because I'm in my PPL training, I'm actually at the stage where I'm ready to do my cross-country flights, my qualifying cross-country solo flights. However, because of the lockdown and stuff, I haven't been able to do it. And when you're doing when you're a student and you're doing your training, you have to plan your routes on a hard chart or a hard map or charts, and you have to refer to your charts and the flight plan that you've drawn on it. As a student, I don't think the CAA or like when you're a qualified pilot, you can use apps and digital stuff all you want, but when you're a student, you're kind of told to use a map. So I guess it's just kind of keeping my skills a little bit sharp to some extent, so I can look at the map, I can look at the environment, and I can figure out where am I. Okay, so I've got what looks like a loch or a lake with an island in the middle. I look at the map and go, oh, that's Loch U. So I'm using the same skills that I would in real life. I'm looking at the environment, and I'm looking at like specific landmarks. So that's quite a unique feature, a loch with a elongated island in the middle. And I can look at the map and I know where I am roughly anyway, and then I can look at the map and go, oh yeah, look, there's a loch. There we go. Yeah, there's a loch with an elongated island. So again, I'm just confirming where I am visually, visual navigation, VFR, looking at the map, cross-referencing where I am. Okay, good. It's all good. So, and plus it's a prop that I can use to, I can wave it in your face. For live stream. Yeah, it's going to descend into that kind of live stream. Sorry. Let's see. Duke Minecrafter, is your plan to be an instructor? Yes, probably. Yeah. I don't want to be answering the phone and doing admin work all my career in the flying school. I'd love to be an instructor, and I think I would hope that doing my YouTube tutorials, I've kind of discovered the talents I didn't realize I had, in that I feel like I can impart information to people reasonably well, because when I first started on YouTube, I wanted to learn how to fly, and I wanted to use a flight simulator as a training aid, because my ultimate goal was to get a pilot's license just generally, but I wanted to use a simulator as a training aid rather than just a game, and my thought process was, well, if I can like follow a proper syllabus but do it all virtually, and like if I ever get the opportunity to do it for real, then I'll already have a really good baseline to go into real world flying. That's kind of where the channel started, and then as I learned things, I started making videos about it and sharing that. And I kind of discovered that, like, when I was trying to learn stuff, a lot of the videos were really good at demonstrating things, but they always assumed that you knew things that you didn't. So, like, for example, I wanted to learn about how to do an ILS landing, and people would make a video saying, so when you want to do an ILS landing, the first thing you need to do is you need to enter the runway course into here, and then you have to change the frequency on the radio. And I'm sat here thinking, wait, what's that instrument? What does that do? Why do I have to change that? How do I change that? Why does it have to be that number? And then why do I have to change the thing on the radio? I don't understand. And a lot of videos kind of assume that you know all of that stuff already, which you don't, when you're like a complete beginner. So when I went through my tutorials, I made a real effort to try and like build from the absolute basics and build up and build up and build up. And it's just simple things like, for example, for an ILS, you need to change the OBS here, and then you need to change the frequency. If you don't know about radios and how they work, I've got another video explaining it, and I'll put a link to that in the description. So it's just like making like tiny little details like that. So if someone, because a lot of people will not watch my videos from day one all the way up to the end, they'll like jump in halfway through like a series of videos, but just making that tiny little comment, like they'll go, wait, what's that? And then if I, as the creator, say, if you don't understand how this works, I've got a video, I've got another video about it, then they can go, oh, fantastic. Like, so what I was saying earlier is I always want to, like, the focus with my videos is I always want to try and answer any questions the viewer may have before they have to ask it. And that's one of the tricks or techniques that I use when I'm making videos, is to always make sure that the video, like if someone does know all the basics, they can then just jump straight in and they can understand what they're looking at. If someone's a complete beginner and they maybe don't understand how to read these instruments or what the colors mean, or why are these dashed lines here, then I always want to try and give them like a kind of a route back to the basic stuff. So say, like, if you don't know what you're looking at, I talk about it in a different video and then send them off to that. So but coming back to, like, I always go on a rant when I do stuff like this, but yeah, I kind of discovered that, you know, through watching other people's, that they're great at demonstrating things, but they're not really great at transferring an understanding of what's going on, and that's what I think helps me as a creator. So what started all of this? Yes, I want to be an instructor. I think that's where we started with all of that. Sorry, I went off on one there. I completely went off on one. Sorry, I tend to do that sometimes. Andrea Trosso, what is your job in the flying school? So at the moment, at the flying school, I am an operations assistant, which is essentially do a little bit of everything at the flying school. Basically, I help ensure the smooth running of the business. So I do a lot of the kind of admin and receptionist type work. So I'm answering the phone calls, I'm greeting customers, I'm booking flights, I'm scheduling flights, I'm scheduling planes for maintenance and things like that. But then occasionally there'll be like other operational things. So if we have a visiting aircraft come to us and they need fuel, I can go out and refuel it. If we've got a visiting aircraft that's staying at the airport, I'll meet the pilots, I'll help carry bags, I'll help organise like a hire car or a taxi for them and things like that. So I do a little bit of everything, and it's all kind of a lot of it's customer facing, but I also do a little bit of bookkeeping for the company as well. So I keep like a record of all the transactions we do, enter that into our financing software, and then we have an accountant who comes in once a month just to kind of collate all the numbers, make sure everything adds up, and then he then does accounting stuff like preparing tax returns and stuff for the company. So that's basically what I do at the flying school just now, is I'm kind of like a receptionist/general handyman, essentially. Right. Philip Ekberg. Hello, sir. How are you doing? I am doing well. How are you, Philip? Let's see. Chandavir, good to know that. Here in Canada, they teach you the procedure to recover from a spin for PPL, but they don't actually do any spin training. The maximum they do is a wing drop during a stall. Okay. It's kind of what we do. Although the wing drop is always unintentional with our aircraft. The Piper Tomahawks, yeah, they're a notorious aircraft for spinning, and unfortunately our ones are, you can't help but drop a wing when you stall, so we kind of, yeah, it kind of comes with the territory for us. Let's see, Chandavir, got yourself into a spin during your 4th solo flight in the practice area while practicing stalls, managed to recover a bit of Highlands. Oh gosh, yeah, I've stalls scare me, in real life, that is. Yeah, the first time I did a stall, of course, in a Tomahawk, like, I had quite a dramatic wing drop as well, and I think what freaked me out was the change in attitude, or the change in the picture that you see out of the window. Because when you're an early student, you're used to seeing sort of this, you know, the horizon's there, you're doing like gentle turns, it's all nice, but when you do a stall, when you recover from the stall, you kind of let the nose drop, and all of a sudden your entire view is filled with the ground. And I think that in real life, that scared me, that spooked me the first couple of times I did it, and I haven't done much stall training since then, certainly not solo. So on a personal level, I will actively grab one of the instructors and I'll do some more stall training before I go for my skills test, the final practical exam, because I want to get comfortable with that. Let's see, Chandavir, during your CPL training, or sorry, check ride spin is mandatory. Right, pardon me. Excuse me, makes sense. That's kind of going back to what I was saying about us doing an instructor course. Yeah, I think it's the same in the UK. You have to do spins as part of getting your instructor rating. Let's see, Gary. I agree, you're a fine teacher. You seriously taught me all I know. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you very much, Gary. I'm glad I'm not, yeah, just being egotistical. I'm glad that people see me as a half decent instructor, I guess, or teacher to some extent. Duke, I can say your videos basically tell you everything you know of flying, so thank you. Oh, good, I'm glad. Alexandru, hey Div, I'm watching the stream from the beginning. I'm still not bored in the latest midnight. Oh, good, I'm glad. I'm glad it's not so boring. Well, for anyone who's watching, we are coming up to the Isle of Skye at the moment, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start kind of turning back towards Inverness. Well, what we'll do is we'll come out, we'll try and find the bottom end of Loch Ness, and then we'll fly back up to Inverness from there. So yeah, so at the moment this is us flying over the Sound of Raasay, which is this stretch of water here. This island here is called Raasay, and then a bit further along here we've got the Isle of Skye, just out, popping out of the west coast of Scotland here. So what we'll do is we'll reach the Skye mainland, and then we'll kind of just follow the edge of the island, or the coast, all the way back till we hit mainland Scotland, and then we'll fly pretty much directly west, and then we should pop out over Loch Ness, the world famous Loch Ness, at the bottom end of it, and then we'll fly up Loch Ness back to Inverness, and then land and call it a night. Let's see, Russell, sorry if you've spoken about it already. Any word on the school opening? No firm date yet. A few of us are going in purely voluntary. A few of us are going in every now and then to just do a couple of little things here and there. Russell, I don't know, you've probably seen that we've got a new website, so a few of us have been working on that. Mainly Will, our company director, has been working on that and getting that in place. Sam, our head of training, he's been doing a few bits and pieces, like working on documentation and getting things ready for people coming back. As for reopening date and time, we don't have anything official yet. We've got nothing really set in stone. What I can say is that we are looking at when driving schools and driving instructors get back in action, because that's probably the closest parallel we have to flight training, and having an instructor and a student in a vehicle sat in close proximity. I'm going to say this is completely guesswork. This is completely unofficial. Rumours we have is that we're going to be potentially reopening on the 4th of July. Again, that's just going off of rumours as to when like driving schools and driving instructors will be allowed to start conducting lessons again. So that's going to be our kind of our benchmark. Once driving instructors start up again, then that's going to kind of be when that will open up the floodgates for flying schools. So at the moment, we think that could be the 4th of July, but that's not set in stone. That's not an official announcement. Yeah, that's just a rough estimate. But yeah, as soon as we have a firm date in place, of course, all of our members and people will know about it. Scott Briggs, welcome. How's it going? Good to see you again. As usual, you got no heads up from YouTube, of course. YouTube strikes again. No worries, you're here now though. That's what matters. Thank you very much for coming along. How have you been? Let's see, Clement. Have I been to Africa? No, I haven't. Never been to Africa. The closest I've been was the Canary Islands, but I've not actually been to mainland Africa. I've been to Africa in the sim, but no, not in real life. Never been to Africa. Right, so this is us flying now along the eastern edge of Skye. There is actually an airport out here as well, Skye Broadford Airport, which is a small paved strip. Well, I think we have had a couple of members fly out there, so some of our customers come from Skye as well, so it's all good. Sorry, just take some misses. Cool. Let's see, Matt. Are your fuel tanks looking a bit even, or is it a crappy screen? No, they're slightly mismatched, but not a dramatic amount. Probably a 1 gallon difference. Right wing tank, 16 gallons, 62 litres. Left wing tank, 18 gallons, 67. Yeah, so it's not a big enough difference to warrant any sort of fuel balancing technique or trickery. Let's see, Russell. I'll be super rusty by now. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. Yeah, I was saying earlier, but yeah, you probably saw earlier, like talking about doing cross country stuff. Like I'm probably gonna have to go up and do a whole bunch of navigation lessons and practice again, because yeah, way out of practice. Let's see, Alexandru. Tomorrow I'll buy myself a Guinness and drink for your future instructor license. Thank you very much. That's a good idea, actually, Guinness. Oh, now I want a Guinness. Gary the Bean, welcome. How's life? Life is going well, Gary. How's life for you as a bean? So, yeah, I think we can clear these hills. Hang on, how tall are these hills? 2,500, 3,046, 2,043. Yeah, we'll be over the top of them. I mean, hang on. So that one's... Okay, so we've got a 3,255 feet over there somewhere. 25, 43, yeah, so, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Just keep tracking the coast. This is going to kind of just turn us back into mainland Scotland. And then once we hit the bottom of Skye, we'll fly pretty much due west. And then that should bring us back out along the bottom of Loch Ness. Clement, what's causing the slight difference in fuel quantity? I think the tanks were slightly unbalanced when I first put fuel in. Yeah, because the other thing with A2A aircraft, which is really good, is that the sort of the life of the aircraft and the wear and tear on the aircraft is persistent. So, for example, if I fly this, the aircraft's going to be fine. It's going to, you know, the engine's going to be nice and sort of loose. But if I don't fly this aircraft again for another 3 months in the simulator, it's like not flying a real aircraft. The battery's going to be drained. You know, you're probably going to have sediment and rubbish in the fuel. So that's what another cool feature of the A2A aircraft is, that the aircraft is persistent and you see real-time wear and tear. And one of these panels you can, yeah, so you can go in and you can do maintenance of the aircraft. So you can do things like, you know, change oil and you know, replace parts and things like that, or change the battery and stuff. But usually what I do for live streams and that, because I don't fly these aircraft all that often, is there is an option to just do a complete overhaul. So it basically defaults the aircraft to a brand spanking new condition. So there is that as well. But one of the things that carries over from the persistence is the frequencies. So if you turn the radios off with these frequencies, the next time you turn them on, they'll be the same frequencies. Like things like the heading will stay the same. Things like the amount of fuel in the aircraft, if you don't change it before the flight, the fuel amount stay the same. So that's one really, really cool feature of the A2A aircraft, is that they have persistence. So which is, yeah, it's quite a really neat feature actually. Speaking of heading, let me see, 16, okay, so I don't have any gyro precession on. I don't know if I've got that option enabled or not. But yeah, in real life you need to be careful of your the gyroscope which runs this compass. It can like precess or recess. Oh god, aircraft's general knowledge coming back to bite me in the ass. But basically, the gyroscope which runs this instrument, the instrument drifts over time, so that this becomes inaccurate. So you need to, every so often, you need to double check against the sort of the magnetic compass up here and make sure this is pointing correctly. Because if you let the error in this instrument grow too big, you know, you could think that you're traveling 160 degrees, when in fact, when you look at the magnetic thing, you could be heading like due east or something, you know, or like due south. So you need to keep an eye on that and make sure that's in line with the magnetic compass. Campia, hey Doof, got your degree results yesterday. Oh, how'd you do? Tell me, I need to know. Alexandra, really? That's so cool. Yes, really, and yes, it is cool. I need a drink. Oh, my girlfriend takes me as well, don't you? Better not ignore the girlfriend. That's a crime worse than death. Let's see. Sorry. As I said, just texting the girlfriend because you don't want to upset your girlfriend. Right, so Skye Broadford. Yeah, so hang on, let's get a closer view. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? So yeah, so in real life, I believe there is an airstrip just along. Of course, the pillar's in the way. Just down there somewhere, just beyond, well, literally behind this pillar. But I've not been out here in real life. I've not been out to the west coast in real life. I've been down to Fort William, so I've been over in this direction, and I've flown over the top of Ben Nevis, which is probably that hilltop there actually. Ben Nevis being the highest mountain in the country, in the UK. I've flown over the top of that. Well, I didn't fly it, I was a passenger. I was just having a ride along with an old colleague of mine, and yeah, we flew over that. Yeah, so but yeah, out. So we've got most of the Isle of Skye behind us here, but I believe there was a small airstrip just down here. It's not modelled in the sim here, but there is one down there somewhere, I think. Is that right? Oh no, sorry, it's up here. Up here. See? Checking the real map and cross-referencing with what you can see on the ground. See? That's real skills. Real world skills there. Alexandru, all of these cool features, how much does it cost and where can I buy it? I can't remember how much it costs, but if you go to I think it's www.A2A simulations, like this. A2A simulations. That's the company that makes this aircraft, and they do a lot of other GA aircrafts. You'll probably find they'll be more expensive than a lot of other add-on aircraft for flight sims, but as I said, it's totally worth it. So yeah, if you just go to or do a Google search for A2A simulations, just like that, all one word, then yeah, you'll find their website easily enough, and you can check out all of their products there. They do Cessnas, they do a couple of Piper models, they do let's see, where do I want to go? Do I want to fly up? Is that Loch Ness? Hold up, sorry, I just want to make sure I know where I'm going here. Stand by. I think I want to be over there actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Okay. See, and this is what you would do in real life when you're flying. Obviously, you'd have like a plan, and you'd be navigating more accurately. But for me, just messing about here, like this is me, like now literally using. Like, if you get lost in real life, this is what you do. You look at landmarks on the ground and you think, oh, okay, well, hang on, where am I? Where am I now? So I've got this water feature on my left. Yeah, so that's where Skye Broadford airstrip is. So I'm at the bottom of Skye here. So yeah, so I want to go up to this loch here and then follow this. This kind of follows a valley, and that should take me back to Loch Ness. So yeah, so you can use simulators to mimic what you would do in real life. There you go, Alexandru A2A simulations. Yeah, that's the one. So if you put that into Google, you'll find them like #1 result. They're fairly well known developer in the flight sim community. So as I said, you'll have no issue finding them. see. Gary, do I have a weather engine active? Hasn't rained for 10 minutes. No, I don't. I have just a fair weather preset. I did think about doing this with, I do have Active Sky for P3D. I loaded it up and it was just grey murk in the sky, and I was just like, no, I want people to be able to actually see the ground. So, no, in real life, yeah, it would be raining. And obviously the time is not the same as real life. We're still flying during the day in the sim, but no, I don't have a weather engine active at the moment. Right, let's see. I want to make sure again that I'm flying the right. Yeah, so Loch Ness. So yeah, so we've got. Probably can't see it actually, but I think it curls around behind. Yeah, so it curls around behind that little point of land there. And again, I can identify it because of that little. Well, you can't see it now, but there's a little island that sits in the middle of that stretch of water. And I'm looking at my map. I know roughly where I am. I'm looking at my map. I can see right. There's a little stretch of water with an island slap bang in the middle. Looks about the right shape. Yep, that's fine. Let's see, we've got another stretch of water in that little tiny island. Yep, that matches up with what I see on the map. Right, I now have a much better idea where I am. And so Loch Ness looks like it curls around behind this. Yeah, behind this hill here, and then follows that down there. So that's what I'm gonna. Do you know what? Let's actually fly it. Let's actually fly it. So Loch Ness. So I'm gonna turn around to the right here, and then there should be another elongated loch which curls slightly to the left as we look at it. Loch Cluani, it looks like. So so that will probably be. You can see there's a valley that kind of goes left and then right. So we're not going to actually fly through the valley, we're going to fly over the top of it, but we're going to be using this valley as our kind of our reference and our kind of where we're going. And what I'm doing here is not like proper navigation technique. What I'm doing in the sim is basically I'm just flying and seeing where the wind takes me, but I'm using a real map just to kind of cross-check where I am. So this is not like proper navigating technique that you would use in real life, but if you get lost, kind of what I'm doing is I'm just kind of double checking the map. I know roughly where I am, and then I'm using places on the ground to just double check and make sure and confirm where I am. And then I know and once you know where you are, then you can then figure out where you want to go and how to get there. So I'm just going to turn to the right slightly, just so I have the stretch of water on my left, just so I have some good visibility of that, because if I go straight over the top of it, it'll be under the aircraft and I can't see it. Anyway, let's see. FlyX, welcome. How's it going? Good to see you. And Snake, hello. Alexandru, don't get lost on us now. I'm not. Welcome to yes. How's it going? FlyX, is this P3D V4 or V5? This is version 4. I haven't bought version 5 yet. Not until I get my 777 tutorials done, then I'll buy version 5. Right, let's see. Oh, actually, no, we don't want that valley. We want this right-hand one. Okay, sorry. Forget everything I was just saying. So yeah, so there is a valley that you can follow around to the left there, but that's not the one we want. We actually want this one that goes to the right of this hilltop. So we're going to be kind of following it. So we're going to be flying straight into it. Well, we're not, as I said, we're not actually flying into it, but we're flying over it. So that's exactly where I want to be going. See, even once I've checked the map, I have to keep looking down, keep double checking, and even then I still don't think I'm looking at the right place. I still don't. Actually. Once I get a view of these rivers that come into the loch, I'll have a better idea. Clements, there's an X-Plane add-on that enables the pilot to see his performance record. Gives terms of grading a. Okay. Switching on landing lights, but no way. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It's good to. That sounds like a good add-on actually. Promotes good habits. Right, okay, so okay. I'm not 100% certain yet. So I definitely know I'm over Loch Ness. So we've got the river there, we've got the road, and I imagine that's a bridge in real life that heads up that way. That's not the direction I want to be going, though. So I should be directly over the top of another river, which is where I want to be going. And then this river... So I've got a river and a road that run pretty much side by side, and I think that's what I can see there. I just want to see a river to confirm that, although the river is probably so small it doesn't actually exist in the sim. But there's definitely a road winding through here that should take me up to another loch, which is probably behind this stretch of water, or behind the pillar here. So once I see another loch, that's what I'm looking for. This is probably, is that the loch there? No. So we're going to follow this road along here, and I think this is taking me where I want to go. Country road, take me home to the place where I get copyrighted for singing the song. Da, 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 da. And Dione, welcome. How's it going? A2A, love A2A. I love A2A as well. Let's see, FlyX looks good. Yeah, this has got Orbix stuff installed. That's why it looks good. Yeah, this has got Orbix Global Vector, Global something, and Open Land Class Europe. Alexandria, I think you're in Africa. Hope not. Autopilot, do you want to keep me on heading? Thank you. So we're catching a bit of wind off the top of these hills now. Even though it's set to fair weather, there's still apparently wind. It's going to start buffeting the plane. Which is totally unlike Scotland. There being wind in Scotland seems so unrealistic. Okay. So we've got a couple of stretches of water here. Okay, that's interesting. That does not match up with what I have on the chart here. Or am I not quite where I think I am? So I think this is the loch that I've been looking for. But there should be a road that runs on the north side of it. So I'm expecting that loch to be here, actually. I think the simulator's not drawing a loch where there should be a loch. Yeah, I think the loch that I'm meant to be following should be right here, but it's not being drawn in the sim. Because you got the road. Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, we've got another loch here, which is more kind of crescent shaped, and then that straight water. Yeah, no, that's fascinating. Yeah, there should be a loch right here, and yeah, the shape of the road matches up with what I'm looking at. Ah, well, it's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let's see. Alexandria, I think you're in Africa. It doesn't quite look realistic. All of these should be a nice deeper grey for hilltops, but yeah, let's see. Gary, is the scenery Orbix Scotland? No, this is Orbix Open LC Europe. So I don't have any UK specific scenery. If I did, it would be a lot more detailed than this, I know. But no, this I've just got like a European general scenery. So yeah, so the idea is now if we just keep going straight, we'll eventually hit the Great Glen, basically just up here, pretty much in this kind of valley here. That should be Loch Ness, and then we're just going to follow that straight line back to Inverness and land. Let's see, Anthony, maybe just put a GPS in your plane. Nah, where's the fun in that? There's no fun in that. Gary the Bean, Scotland is beautiful. I should travel there someday. It really is. I never appreciated it when I was younger until I lived in a place like London, where all you can see outside of your window is another window or another building. To be able to get up and look out the window and see just trees and like hills and blue skies and stuff. Yeah, I never understood why people always come to Scotland for like the scenery and appreciate it being a scenic country, until I lived somewhere where it wasn't scenic, and it's just like, okay, now I get it. Let's see, Anthony, should take a look at Chase Plate. Best head shake. I'm thinking about it, not for my benefit, the immersion benefit, but mainly for the just the camera customization for making videos and tutorials. So I have thought about Chase Plane, or what's the other one, Easy Dock. I've thought about it definitely. Let's see, Alexandru, river at 1 o'clock. Yeah, I matched that up with rivers on my map, or my chart, sorry, to be correct. But yeah, I'm almost certain there should have been a loch there, or there should have been a stretch of water there, because yeah, this road runs right along the top edge of it, and then there's a junction, so you can see there's a junction there. I've lost myself. Yeah, there should be a stretch of water right there, and there isn't, because that matches up with, yeah. So yeah, this one's correct. Yeah, bizarre. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. We're kind of on the home stretch, so to speak. And Alexandru, am I using IR track? No, I'm not. The way I'm controlling my view is I'm pressing down and holding the spacebar, and then when you move your mouse to the left and to the right, that moves the view down and up. And then you can, when you're holding down the spacebar, you can use your mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out, and then just let go of the spacebar, and then you're able to then click on stuff and do what you need to. Let's see, Flyx, been looking at the North Coast 500 when lockdown is over. Do I know it? If so, would you recommend it? Yeah, it's become a very popular thing up here now. I've not done it myself, but yeah, no, it's become a very popular thing. What I would say is during the sort of the summertime is going to be peak season. So if you're thinking about staying in a B&B or a hotel or something, book well in advance, because you get quite a few people will drive the North Coast 500s. And once you get out of Inverness and get into like proper rural Scotland, like fuel stops are few and far between. The roads as well are usually quite narrow. Like quite a lot of the North Coast 500 is usually single track, and the like quite a lot of people with fancy cars come up and drive it. So you get like Ferraris and Porsches and Aston Martins come up just so that you can like yeet it about the Highlands. And the police are really clamping down on dangerous driving around the North Coast. So as a nice kind of leisurely tour, it's good. But just be aware that there are some reckless drivers out there who you might come face to face with around a blind bend unexpectedly. But yeah, the police are kind of out there, and it's something that they do look out for, is dangerous driving on those roads. So So yeah, let's see. Matt, been great if we got Dash, lock the office. Good night, happy life. No worries, Matt. Take care of yourself, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. And thank you very much for coming along and watching as long as you have. I think you've been around since since before the stream actually. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, take care of yourself. Let's see, Clement, chase plane. What do you mean chase plane question mark? Are you asking if I have it, or do you not know what it is? Alright, so here we go. So this is the world famous Loch Ness. So it's basically Inverness is straight ahead of us here. So we're just going to follow this all the way up and go back in for a landing at Inverness. And actually, excuse me. What I will do is go for the ILS landing as well, because why not? One 8.5, is that the one? Excuse me. That was just a bit of saliva going down the wrong hole. It's not the... let's see. Please do an external view. I will do in a second. Let me just get ours lined up here. Alex Zandrew, you're on lockdown for the... Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm on lockdown. Well, I'm... Yeah, I mean, lockdown's very loose in the UK at the moment. But social distancing is encouraged. So we're not completely locked down, but there's still, in Scotland at least, social distancing is very much encouraged. Flex, sounds good. You in a Golf and your mate in a Corsa will fit right in with the fancy cars. Yeah, no worries. As I said, like just be aware. Yeah, you'll probably see quite a lot of police out there during like peak season, and yeah, watch out for like guys with more money than sense driving around. And as I said, the roads are quite narrow, so if you drive sensibly, you'll be fine. But the biggest danger is coming across someone who's yeeting a car about faster than they should, and not taking as much care, because yeah, you could easily come around a blind bend or come over the crest of a hill, and all of a sudden you'll find a car that you had no idea was there is suddenly about to crash into the front of you. So just be careful when you come up and drive. RJL, what sim is this? This is Prepared, or P3D, version 4. So this is the previous version. The newest version is version 5. But this is the slightly older version. Clive Alexander, welcome. How's it going? Clement, do you have it? Am I using camera? No, I'm not. No, I'm just using the default camera in Prepared. Right, where were we? It was 0.5. Do I have... No, I don't have Morse codes on this. Let's see. Oh. And what is it? It's IVR, isn't it? No. I'll wait for that again. No, I don't know Morse code off the top of my head, but we're getting a radio signal, so that's something. Let's see, I'll turn the nav 1 and 2 off. Push that back in, good. And then runway heading is 054. So that should hopefully... Don't have a glide slope there yet, so hopefully once we get a bit closer we'll get something there. What I'll do also is we'll start bringing the start bringing the altitude down to 3,000. Just makes it a bit easier to intercept the glide slope. Let's see. Let's see, Clive. You have this aircraft from A2A. Trying to get used to the controls. Yeah, it's another thing I will say in A2A's favour is the way the radios are modelled are really accurate. Like if you've flown the default Cessna in like FSX or P3D, you'll know that you can usually just hit a button on the autopilot and it will just do it. Whereas in this, it's slightly different. It's like it works like you can pick up a manual for the real radio unit, and it will do what the real thing will do. So, for example, for the altitude here. In a more basic plane, you just set that to 3,000 hit altitude, and the plane will go there. But how the real radio works is it doesn't target that altitude. Like what you have to do is you have to select the altitude and then arm the autopilot. So basically, when it reaches that altitude, it kind of then goes, "Oh, this is where I'm meant to be," and levels off. If you didn't have that armed, it would just descend straight through 3,000 feet and keep descending. So the way the radios are set up and work is really realistic. Let's see. Clive, getting used to the Bendix King. May I ask a question regarding setting up an ILS approach? Certainly. Although I think I've answered my own question. If you're not sure about it, please ask away, and I'll try and answer it as best as I can. FlyX, thanks, no problem. Andy is back, and we're still in the air. Yep, we're not too far away from landing actually. So, let's see. That was probably just telling me 1,000 feet to go. So much like a commercial airline, it gives you a little beep just to let you know you're 1,000 feet away from your target altitude, essentially. What I'll do is I'll just turn to the right slightly as well, because I want to make sure I don't descend into these hills here. So for setting up an ILS approach, for anyone who might not know, so you need, let's see, can I confirm that I would set up the approach course by adjusting the gauge with the ILS bars on? Yes, yeah, so you basically match the runway course, you dial that in so that the runway course is at the top of this VOR instrument, which also doubles up as your ILS instrument. So to do an ILS approach, you need a couple of bits of information. Number one, you need the radio frequency of the ILS at the airport. So the ILS is basically a set of radio antennas which point along the length of the runway. So you need to know the radio frequency that those radios are working on. Number two, you need the runway course. Now the runway course is its precise heading. Now the runway here at Inverness is runway 05, which loosely relates to a heading of 050 degrees, but its actual accurate magnetic direction is 054 degrees, and we call that the runway course. Now what you need to do is dial in the ILS frequency into the nav radio, so that's the right hand portion of the radio, and you'll see there's two frequencies. So basically the left hand frequency is the active frequency, so that's the one that your plane's radios are actually working on. So you match that to the ILS and they're working on the same frequency. The second one is a standby frequency, so that's the one that you change, and then you bring it across to make it the active by using this button, or so you make the change, you select what you want there, and then bring it across to make it the active. So yeah, and then what you do is once you've got the runway course, that then needs to be selected here. So you want to match the direction of the runway with the top of this VOR indicator, and you do that by moving the scale on the outside. So what we're going to do now is we're going to intercept the ILS, and that's going to be done with this vertical bar here. So you can see at the moment it's skewed to the left. That means that the center line of the runway is over to our left, so we can see the runway here, and it's actually pointing past the left of the aircraft. So what we want to do is we want to wait until this lines up. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to get rid of the autopilot here as well, so I can fly this manually. So once that bar gets to about the center, you then want to turn and, roughly speaking, match your heading to the runway heading. So we're going to bring it around to about 054 degrees there. Now the aim of the game is to keep this vertical bar vertical. You want to keep that over that center dot as best as you can. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a couple of other things just to prep the aircraft for the approach here. Now remember, this is an ILS approach, so the purpose of an ILS is to help you land in bad weather. If you imagine it's very cloudy in Scotland, which it often is, you wouldn't be able to see the runway. So what you're relying on is you're relying on these needles to line up with the runway and then follow the right kind of descent towards the runway. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mimic that just by not looking out the front of the plane. So now we've also got the horizontal bar here, so that's giving us our vertical guidance. So what we want to do now is just keep these two needles perfectly centered. So I'm going to slow the plane down a little bit as well, because the slower you are, the more time you have to figure out what's going on. And I've done a real life ILS approach, and it's not easy in real life. It really is not easy. In the sim it's much easier because the plane tends to fly quite, the plane's quite stable. But anyway, so you can see what I can see. I'm just looking purely at the panel here. So what you can see here is the vertical line is slightly to the left of that that middle kind of dot. So what I need to do is I need to go slightly to the left. So I'm going to make a very small move to the left here. And what I'm going to be doing is, in real life, you'd be looking at your attitude indicator here as well. Because of course the idea is that the visibility is really bad outside, you can't see where you're going. Now if you look at the horizontal line here, you can see it's moving up slightly. That means that I'm a little bit below where I should be. So the lines basically represent where you should be. I think that's correct. Let me pull up and see. Yeah, so the lines are telling you where you should be. So if the vertical line is slightly to the left, you need to be a bit more to the left. If the horizontal line is up, you should be a bit higher. If it's down, you should be a bit lower. So you're basically now just keeping those two lines as centered as possible. So I need to be to the left, and I also need to be a little bit lower. So I'm going to reduce the throttle to help me descend a bit quicker. Sorry guys, I know I'm ignoring the chat, but unfortunately doing a manual ILS landing approach is it's quite tricky. So now you can see the vertical line's moving to the right, so now I need to correct to the right here. And I'm still slightly too high. In an aircraft as slow as a Cessna, that's not a big deal. I can afford to, I can get away with being a bit too high. But you can see the vertical needle is to the right, so I need to be correcting to the right ever so slightly. So I'm looking at my attitude indicator, and I'm going to turn slightly to the right there. A real live tutorial with Doofer. So looking at the attitude, or so the altimeter, so I'm at 1,500 feet, so I'm still a little ways away from the airport, but my height is a bit good. I'm ever so slightly too high. Again, that's not too much of a problem at the moment. I can get away with being slightly too high. So what I'm going to do now is I feel like I'm getting a bit close, so I'm going to put the first stage of flaps there. Push the nose down because the flaps will actually cause the plane to kick up. So we're just about there. It's ever so slightly to the left of where I should be, but that's something I can recover from. That's not a big deal. So you can see now I need to be a bit higher because we've lost a bit of speed there, so just going to release some back pressure. Actually, I got some forward pressure. I'm not trimmed at all for this. So I need to be much higher and now much further to the right. So what I'm going to do is do a slightly sharper turn to the right. Give it a bit of throttle and pull up. So you can see I'm way off now. My height is definitely not where it needs to be. Turn to the left. The problem is as well, when you get closer to the runway, these needles tend to wander a lot more. So I'm way too low now. So about 300 feet, and I'm not near the airport, which is not a good sign. But we're probably at this point though, if you couldn't see the runway from this distance out and this height, the weather's probably too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up there. So you can see fairly close to the runway, but I'm way off to the right. But by this point, if you couldn't see the runway this close to the airport, you just don't land. The visibility would be too bad. At this point in real life, you maybe go around. But that's not too bad. So now you can see from the PAPI lights and the ILS as well. Now we're too high, but we're nice and slow now. We've got the flaps out. I've excuse me, definitely not got the trim in place, but we're nice and slow now. I've got to stop that oscillation there, that kind of up and down movement. So looking at the far end of the runway, bring the throttles to idle. So looking at the far end of the runway, using my peripheral vision to look at what's happening closer to me. And plonker down on the runway. And then hit the brakes. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Because the exit I need is right over here. Okay, and then we'll make our way down the secondary runway back to the parking area. And we'll go to oops, probably should just set that to standby. There you go. So there you go, an impromptu live ILS landing demonstration there. So yeah, you can see my discipline on the ILS. I lost it towards the end there, but yeah, it's kind of like real life actually. It's really quite difficult. The other thing you got to be aware of is the closer you are to the runway, the more sensitive the needles get as well. So you could be perfect all the way in, and then at last like half a mile or so the needles could just start swinging mildly. But as I said, by the time you're that close to the airport, if you're still having to rely on that instrument that close to the airport, the weather's probably too bad to be landing there anyway. So but yeah, hopefully that was interesting to watch at least. Isaac, make them cross in the circle. Exactly, yeah. And the thing as well is knowing when the needles start moving away from the middle. The important thing as well is knowing which direction to turn, because I think a lot of people might get confused by the needle going one direction. They might accidentally correct in the opposite direction. So you know, when the needle moves in one direction, just knowing what that represents and what's going on, and being able to correct for that as well is important. Clive, are the outer, middle, and inner markers operational in the Bendix King radio? I believe they are, yes. There's certainly the lights for them are there, and there is a marker button there, so you can hear the markers as you reach them. But I know that like having the marker beacons is quite an old technology, and I don't know how many airports still have marker beacons installed. Certainly, if they're there, this radio will pick them up. And I think if you want them to hear them, there's an MKR button there. So just make sure that button is lit up, and you'll be able to hear the beacons as you reach them as well. Isaac, is the A2A Cessna free? Unfortunately not, no. You can buy the aircraft from the A2A website. I believe it's www.a2asimulations.com. So you can buy the aircraft from their website there. It's quite expensive for a GA plane, for a flight simulator, but I think it is totally worth every single penny or every single cent. Right, so what we'll do is we'll bring up this and we'll do our after landing cowl flaps. Oh yeah, I completely didn't do anything with my cowl flaps. Wing flaps can come up. Completely forgot about those as well. Right, radios all come off. Parking brake is set. Throttle is idle. Electrical equipment is off. Avionics comes off. Mixture idle. Nav, beacon, lights out, key off. Fuel selector valve. 360 left, and control lock install. So push that forward. Control lock installed, and there we have it. A lovely little flight. The Cessna 182. So that's about it for flying. As with every live stream, I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes, just have a quick chat. So if anyone's got any comments or questions, please feel free to ask away. But yeah, don't mind that the wheels are sinking into the ground. That's, I think that's an issue with the scenery rather than with the sim. But yeah, so that was yeah, a little tour of the Highlands. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. We flew, yeah, so we started off at Inverness here. This Inverness airport actually is an add-on airport. This is a version of Inverness made by Sim 720. They were exceptionally kind to me when I first started my channel, and I was first you know, getting my first few thousand subscribers. One of the developers at Sim 720 reached out to me and you know, basically gave me their whole library of add-on scenery for free. So I would highly recommend Sim 720 as well. They have a few products themselves, but they also develop add-on airports for Aerobatics. So they're a really good bunch of airport scenery developers, and they, as I said, they're exceptionally talented guys and girls, very kind to me personally. So I'll give Sim 720 a shout out. They're a great bunch of developers. So basically we took off here from Inverness. We flew basically north, followed the coast up to Wick, which is the last sort of major town on the mainland of Scotland. We turned west. We flew along the north, or along the top of mainland Scotland, and then kind of followed to the west coast down, flew over Skye, and then kind of came back towards the bottom end of Loch Ness, flew up Loch Ness, and landed here at Inverness. So yeah. So as I said, if anyone's got any last comments or questions, please do ask away. If I know that a lot of people tend to jump out at the end of the stream, so if you are jumping away now, I just want to quickly say thank you very much for coming along. I do appreciate it, and thank you if you've been watching and you're active. You've been active in the chat. Thank you very much. It helps me kind of stay active during the live streams as well. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on a future live stream. But for those of you who are staying for the next maybe 10-15 minutes, let me see if if I have anyone asking any questions. So, another question regarding the barometer on the Benix King. Clive, no worries. I'll come to that in a second. Clements, I'm still happy on the butter. Bravo. Yeah, it was pretty nice, wasn't it? I'm proud of that. Let's see, Clive. How do you change the unit measurement from hectopascals to inches of mercury? That is a good question. I don't know if you can, or I can't remember if you can or not. Let me have a quick look here. I don't know if you can. You might just have to maybe use like a little converter online. Or I don't know if it's something that can be changed depending on the sort of delivery that you use. So for example, I'm using an aircraft VH. I don't even know which country VH registered aircraft are based. But if you have an American aircraft, I don't know if that changes the kind of the configuration of the panel. I don't remember there being like a tick box or a setting somewhere where you can change between the two, and I don't know if that changes based on the registration of the aircraft. For example, an NREG aircraft, which is America, who use inches of mercury, I don't know if that changes. The best thing to do would be to have a look on the A2A website forums, and it'll probably say there if you can change it or not. Let's see. Isaac, there's no yoke. You can turn the yokes on and off if you just click on the control column, or the sort of where the control column goes into the panel. You can turn the yokes on and off. It's good because with that it kind of blocks the view of a few bits and pieces, so you can turn that off so you have a clear view of the panel there. And also, fun fact, if you want to put the control locks in, you have to push the control column forward, and then basically there's a little hole in the I don't know if it's modeled on this. No, it's not. But there's basically there's a hole at the top of the sort of the frame there, and also in the column itself. So you basically just line up those two holes by pushing the controls forward, and then you basically stick a pin in place, and that just locks the elevator in place, stops it from getting damaged in high winds. So let's have a look here. Clement, it's been so much amazing. Oh, thank you very much. Let's see, Callum, I'm going to go to bed before I fall asleep with the cats. No worries, Callum. Thank you very much for staying around as long as you have. I appreciate that. Isaac, been watching my vids since I had about 50 subs. Wow, thank you very much. Wow, and I've got like 50,000 now. That's ridiculous. Thank you very much, Isaac. I do appreciate that. Yeah, my channel grew very slowly from 0 to about 1,000 subscribers. And then, funnily enough, A2A, I used A2A's Cessna 172 in one of my early tutorial videos. A2A, somehow found it, picked it up, and promoted that on, throughout their social media. And my channel kind of spiked. It went from about 1,000 to about 3,000 or 4,000 very quickly. So thank you to A2A for that as well. Kind of helped me get off the ground. Get it? Flying planes. They helped me get off the ground, and then the channel grew very steadily from there. And then for some reason YouTube picked up one of my videos. It was my runway markings video. YouTube just picked that up and started promoting that completely automatically. You know how YouTube, you'll be on YouTube and then you'll get this random video just pop up in your recommended, something completely unrelated to what you normally watch. YouTube did that with one of my videos, and I went from about 7,000 or 8,000 subscribers up to about 25,000, 30,000 subscribers within 2 or 3 days. It was ridiculous. So wow, to know you've been around since 50, that's incredible. So thank you very much, Isaac. It's been a long journey, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Let's see, Alexandru, what is more fun, the Cessna 172 or 182? Ooh, that's a tough one. Because whilst they're very similar aircraft, they're also very different. The Cessna 172 is more geared towards learning and training. The 182 is kind of like a bit more of a long range cruising aircraft, because it's more powerful. It's got the variable pitch propeller. It's got a bigger engine as well. You can travel longer distances quite comfortably in it. So it depends what kind of flying you want to do, I think. If you want to use something for training and have a fantastic simulation of a fantastic training aircraft, go for the 172. If you want to use a light aircraft and go for adventures and do a lot of kind of cross-country flying. Sorry, I'm disappearing out of view here. Do a lot of cross-country flying like what I was doing here today, then probably the 182 is better, because it can travel longer distances faster. So it's hard to recommend one over the other. They kind of serve different purposes. Let's see. Greg A. Has the sim experience helped a lot with real life flying lessons? Yes, it has. It doesn't replace. Actually, I should probably open up a window before it starts steaming up. It doesn't replace real flying. Because real life flying is so much more physical. Like when you pull up, you feel the G forces, as small as they are. You feel the forces, you feel the turbulence. You get rattled, and obviously everything's like there, so it's a lot more tactile. You can, you can grab things and move things in bits and pieces. But though it's treating the simulator as a training aid rather than a game, it really has benefited a lot, because you learn a lot of silly little things. There's a lot of things you can't learn in a simulator, but there's a lot you can. Like, for example, learning what the different colours mean on an airspeed indicator. You can do that in a simulator. You can use a simulator to understand a lot of the basics and understand a lot of the dynamics of what a plane does in different situations. If you're flying straight and level and then you cut the power, in a simulator the plane starts to descend, and that's what happens in real life. So yes, if you approach it correctly, you can learn a lot through a simulator. The thing you need to be careful of is learning bad habits through a simulator, and that's one of the things that my instructor said to me when I first started doing real training was, I know you know quite a lot, but what I want to do is take you back from step one, because when you do real life training, you learn different techniques and things that help you, that you won't pick up through self-study on a simulator. Like, for example, when I was doing the ILS approach there's a certain scan, there's a certain order in which you look at the instruments to make sure that everything's going okay. In the simulator. So, for example, when you're doing instrument training, you're watching this instrument so much, and you're basically your kind of your scan, how you look at the instruments and what order you look in. So for example, if you're doing just basic instrument flying, so you're not looking out of the window, you're basically looking at your attitude to make sure that the plane is straight and level and stable. And then you kind of just flick over to either your airspeed, you come back, altitude, come back, direction, come back. And then you basically repeat that process over and over again. And that's not something... I'll be very surprised if there's amateur or there's flight simmers like me out there that teach you little details like that, like what order to read the instruments in. There's certain mnemonics that you learn as well. Like, you might have heard people talk about bum fitch when they're flying, which is basically a mnemonic to remind you what you need to do before you land. So bum fitch, so B, brakes, U, undercarriage, M, mixture set to rich, F, fuel pump on, fuel selector is selected on a tank and is feeding fuel correctly to the engine. I, instruments, is the heading indicator, does that match the compass? Is your altitude okay if you're coming back in the pattern? C, carb heat in aircraft which have a carb heat. H, hatches and harnesses. And those are things that you're not really likely to learn through self-study. So there's certain things, so you can learn a lot through a simulator, but there's certain things that you're taught for real, or taught in real world flying that are very valuable. So sorry, Greg, to answer your question, yes. Basically, TLDR, yes. Let's see. Clement, why does the gyro deflect leftwards when no power is available? So basically, the attitude. Well, you mentioned a gyro, so I hope you understand, or I'm assuming that you know what a gyroscope is. You basically have a spinning wheel, and that wheel stays stable, and no matter what the orientation of the structure around it, that gyroscope stays in the same direction. So what that does is when that gyroscope is spinning, that brings the attitude indicator to sort of a straight and level position, and then the gyroscope holds that that front plate almost in position, I think. Yeah, that holds the gyroscope steady. So as the plane moves around, the gyroscope stays steady, but as the plane moves, the attitude indicator changes and shows you what the plane's attitude is and how that's changing. So when you remove power, that gyroscope stops spinning, and then the structure, the cage that holds the gyroscope, then just kind of sags to a natural resting position. So that's why when you turn the power off, it kind of goes all skew with. It's because the gyroscope inside of it has stopped spinning, and it then just kind of falls to a natural resting position, which is usually something skew with like that. Anyway, so moving on. Clement, VH is India. Ah, okay. Didn't realise that. I thought it was maybe Singapore or something, but VH is India. Did not know that. Let's see. Clive, without calling up the panel menus, where are the switches for the inner cabin lights on the panel? Inner cabin lights are down here. So they're basically dual purpose. So you see the black, it's got a black part and then a kind of a whitish kind of point. They're two separate rotational controls. So you'd have to move them individually. So you can see you've got a panel light there, radio light there, and then you've got fuel selector light, so that lights up down here, and then a glare shield light. So there's actually 4 controls there, and they rotate clockwise, make things brighter, rotate anti-clockwise, makes things dimmer. Let's see. Anytime you watch it's informative, helps with your avionics classwork. Oh, good, I'm glad. Let's see, Jason, where's Gina been? Gina's been replaced. That's where Gina's been. For anyone who's still watching, Gina was my fictional cabin crew. Gina's been replaced by Kylie now. Let's see. Isaac has 830,000 views. Wow. I hope it breaks 1 million. I'll be incredibly happy if I have at least one video that breaks 1 million views. That'd be incredible. Alexandru, with that door opening, you just made you buy an airplane FSX. Well, tell A2A that my demonstration sold you on the airplane, because hopefully they'll let me get early access to any future products they make. And also Alexandru, if you click the window latch, There you go. You can open the window as well. Excellent sounds as well. There you go. That's just showing off now. Actually, what I probably could do as well is could probably go around and put everything on the plane. So if I do this, so with this control panel here, what I can do, you might not be able to see it with the plane being embedded in the ground, but if I put the wheel chocks in, yeah, you can't see it unfortunately, but yeah, you can control the wheel chocks here. You can put the tie downs on, so you can see you've got now ropes from each wing and the tail. You can empty the plane, so you can take your little character out of there, and if you keep an eye on the pitot cover up here, or a pitot tube, you can put a pitot cover on there as well, just like that. Let's see. Let's see. Lauren to you. Hi, for the PPL, you don't have to do the Ishihara test, question mark. I have the same problem with my colours like you have. Unfortunately for people, you do have to do a Ishihara test. Or the Ishihara test is usually the most common colour vision test. However, certainly in the UK, if you cannot pass the Ishihara test, you could still get a pilot's license. Normally what happens is with your pilot's license you get another document which is your medical license, and what you will probably end up with is a medical license which says you're fit to fly but only in daytime, and that's what I've got with my medical after I did my medical exams. So I've got a medical certificate which says I'm fit to fly. However, because of my colour vision, I can only fly during the daytime. I am not allowed to fly at night time. So it's still possible to get a PPL, but you just might have a restriction like that. And yeah, I mean, and for me, I'm quite comfortable only flying in daytime. You know, if I'm not going to be a commercial pilot, I can't see any situation where I'd want to be flying at nighttime rather than daytime. So for me, I'm quite happy with that. But obviously, if you want to become a commercial pilot, that could be an issue. So you might need to speak to your aviation authority, and they might say that yes, we can give you the medical certificate, but if you want to become a commercial pilot and fly an airline, you'll probably just need to speak to the operations team for that airline, and they would probably need to make sure that you always fly with someone who doesn't have a colour vision issue, or so that you can fly as a co-pilot with someone. Let's see, Isaac, you have the exact same joystick as me, or am I using a different one than before? I'm using a different one. I haven't really talked about this on stream yet, but I'm using a much higher end joystick now. I treated myself to a Christmas present / investment. So I'm using a HOTAS joystick by a company called Whirlpool Controls, and they make bespoke flight simulator controls, very high quality. Not many of them are made, so they've got a very slow development cycle, but they're very high quality, and I've got 2 sets of controls here. So I've got I think it's what's called their Mongoose flight stick. It's actually, I could probably grab this and bring it over here. There's not much slack in the line here. Hopefully you can see that. So this is I think it's the Mongoose controller by Whirlpool Controls, and as you can see, it's a very kind of comprehensive fighter jet style joystick. There's so many buttons and switches and bits and pieces on here. It's crazy. And then over on the other side here, so I've got this HOTAS throttle controller. Again, I've got all these switches, all these buttons, a dual setup here. So many buttons on the side of this as well. So they do HOTAS systems, but very high quality, very robust. You know, good quality products. I might have to do like a dedicated video, review of them to really show them off and show what they can do. But yeah, they're fantastic controls. As I said, I've had them since Christmas, and I'm still trying to make the most of their functionality and really maximize what I'm doing with them and stuff. So very pleased with them. They are very expensive controls. As I said, they're kind of top of the line things, so you'll be shelling out hundreds of dollars, hundreds of pounds, hundreds of euros for them. But they're very high quality, and I haven't had any complaints or any niggles or anything with them since I've got them, so I'm very happy. Also as well, the as you can imagine, with something being so expensive, the sensors and the sort of what they call the gimbal, the mechanisms which control the weight and feel of the joystick, is very very high quality as well. So it's not gonna it's like the stick isn't gonna like start wobbling or getting loose or anything. The mechanisms which control the stick's movement are very, very high quality. Right, let me catch up on comments here quickly. Let's see. Clement, Singapore is 9 Victor. Okay, I knew there was a Victor in there somewhere. Let's see. Clive, been looking for 2 hours. No worries, Clive. Although the VOR stations have Morse code identifiers, many users do not know the Morse code. No, but what a lot of pilots will do is they'll have like a little piece of paper which has got like the Morse code alphabet on it. So you don't really have to know Morse code off by heart, but as long as you've got something where you can listen to the dashes and the dots and then compare it to like a little reference card or something, then you shouldn't have any trouble there. Let's see. John GG Tucker, hi, greetings from Germany, love your videos, thank you. Oh, thank you very much for coming along, John. Unfortunately, you kind of joined us at the end of the live stream, but thank you very much for dropping in anyway, I appreciate that. Let's see, Alexandru, after this video I'm going to the A2A site. Good. They're a really good company and they make really good quality aircraft, as you can see, so yeah, I highly recommend A2A. Let's see, Isaac is from New Zealand, Gary's from the Caribbean. Let's see, Isaac, it's a legit indoor fighter jet. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, these controls, like these are the types of things that like people who build flight sim cockpits, these are like the high quality types of controls that someone would install in a a mock pit, I should call it. So yeah, no, they're, as I said, really high quality. As I said, there's not many of them out there. When the controls are made and they stock up their shop, they tend to sell out reasonably quickly. Like for example, I had to wait to order these bits and pieces when I first discovered Verpil, when I was looking for high-end controls. Yeah, like these items were out of stock, so I had to wait a month or two for them to get for them to get into stock, and then I put an order in for them. So and yeah, and as you can hear, like it's not like cheap like controls. Like all of these switches are metal controls. You got positive buttons, controls, and there's a really kind of heavy feel to the throttles as well, and the throttles could be split as well, so you can control the left and right engines independently. So really good. Let's see, Clive, do you use Lynda software to assign the switches on your HOTAS throttle controller? No, Verpil have their own software for setting up and calibrating the controls. So you use that to kind of calibrate the controls and make sure all the buttons are working. And then essentially there's 3 different joysticks. Oh, sorry, I should also mention, also underneath the desk, I can't move my camera, but underneath the desk I've also got a set of really high quality pedals as well, with toe brakes. And yeah, I'll probably have to do a video. Um, maybe if I do upgrade my computer, I'll do like a rig rundown, and I'll do like a kind of a whole setup video where I'll talk about the controls, and the pedals as well are very high quality. Like all of this is like all metal, or like high quality plastic construction. And yeah, I've got a set of pedals as well with toe brakes, which work very well. So yeah, very happy with the controls. But yeah, so yeah, Virtual. No, I use Virtual software, and essentially these are all treated like 3 different joysticks. So when you go into the sim, there's basically like 3 separate joysticks, and you just assign the buttons. So if I'm assigning buttons on my throttle quadrant, I go to the controller, I select the throttle quadrant, and then I can then select buttons there. For buttons on the joystick, I just change the controller to my actual joystick controller, and then I can assign buttons. So even though I might like say both controls have a number 1 button, the game doesn't get confused because this is a separate device. So this is like a throttle number 1, and this is a joystick number 1, and the game or software like the sim doesn't get confused between the two. It recognizes them as separate devices. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling again. Let's see, Greg A, thanks for replying. I was thinking of getting a sim to keep you current if there was another wave of corona. I mean, by the time the second wave hits, I've got a feeling that Flight Sim 2020 will be coming towards the end of the year. I've got nothing to substantiate that claim. I don't have any inside information. I don't have any evidence to back that up. I just have a gut feeling that it might be more accessible. Whether that's they have a beta version which they're opening up to a lot more people by the end of the year, or if they're planning a release at the end of the year, I don't know. Obviously, the coronavirus has delayed a lot of things, but yeah, I don't know. I just got a gut feeling that they might do something towards the end of the year, like Q4 time maybe. Anyway, Clement, thanks a lot once more. Good night. See you next time. No, it's Clement. Thank you very much for coming along. I appreciate that. Isaac, I don't know if you've actually typed something in Morse code there, or if you're just doing random dashes and dots, but that looks like it could be 2 numbers, because I know the numbers usually have a series of dashes or a series of dots close together. Anywho, let's see. Laurentu, okay, thanks. Let you know, from Ireland, by the way. So he's saying, fantastic. Let's see, John, are you excited about the new FS Flight Sim? Yes, who is not excited about the new Flight Sim? But as I said, I'm not. I've not got alpha access. Even though I'm a Flight Sim creator, I don't have any special privileges. I don't know if they are giving creators any special privileges. I'd need to try and contact them and ask, because obviously I want to be part of the media release when they do start kind of letting like media outlets and that get a hold of it. So yeah, I'm unfortunately I'm not privy to anything. Of course, I, like everyone else, wants it, and I want it now, and I want to jump on. I'm probably going to jump on the bandwagon when it's released. But you know, as soon, you know, if I get early access, I'd be very transparent about it. I'd say that I have, even if I've got a non-disclosure, you know, even if there is a non-disclosure, I'd say, look, I would try and drop as many hints about it as I could get away with. Yeah. So yeah, definitely excited about it, and I want to try and get my hands on it. Let's see, Clive. I have the Hotas Warthog throttle and joystick controller and Thrustmaster pedals. Good. Yeah, I know the Warthog one is really good. It's a really yeah, the like the Warthog kind of licensed one is meant to be a really good HOTAS setup. I think this one though, it's because I was looking at the Warthog HOTAS, I was looking at that one, but then I found this this Whirlpool company, and it just seems like there's more buttons, more switches. There's like a mode selector on this as well, so it's basically you can multiply what this thing can do by 5. I haven't figured out how that works actually, but yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that can be done with this that I've still yet to explore. Excuse me. Right, I think I'm gonna just about wrap up the stream there. It's supposed to say Morse. Oh, is it? Dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. Yeah, because I know that, but obviously everyone knows SOS, so it's dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. So S is dot dot dot. O would be hyphen dash dash dash. So yeah, MORC. Okay. I think because it was all like sequential. Your first one there, I couldn't really read it. But yeah, I think everyone, because they know SOS, I think everyone would be able to pick out an S and an O from a Morse code message, but probably they'd struggle with it. Unless they had like a reference card, they'd probably struggle with other characters and other letters. Right, anyway, I think it is about time to wrap things up. So, for those of you who are still here, apparently there's 16 of you, thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. Last question here. Am I using P3D version 4 or version 5? This is still version 4, but I'm going to be staying with version 4 until I do my Boeing 777 tutorials. Once I've got those done and dusted, then I will be upgrading to P3D version 5. So yeah. I'm going to wrap up the stream there. So had a nice little tour around the Highlands. And stay tuned because I will probably be uploading a few new videos on the channel hopefully soon. The plan is to start releasing some more of my PPL vlogs, and then hopefully by the time I've done those, I'll be ready with the 777 videos. So over the next couple of weeks, I'll hopefully have a few more videos to keep people watching, coming back to the channel. So I'm going to call it a night there. So thank you all again very much for watching. Before I head off, thank you again to David and Gamma for donating during the stream. That was very generous of you guys, so thank you very much. And Gamma, I hope you enjoyed the barrel rolls there. Okay, so, and of course everyone who's still here, thank you very much. So until the next time, thank you all very much for watching. Take care out there, and I will catch you all later. And then the awkward pause until the end screen. Goodbye guys, take care.